The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack just like no Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. I am your host, Scott. It is Friday, August 23rd, 2024. We've got a packed show for y'all, man. Sorry for being about 15 minutes late. We on CP time. So, you know what I'm saying? We producing on the fly today. So, whatever mistakes get made, it's only gonna happen this week. But I'm your host, Scott Lewis. Of course, you can follow me on all social media platforms at BarberChair Scott. You can follow the Barbers Chat Network at Barbers Chat Net on all social media platforms. You can follow our partners H&B Media, H&B Media TV, and follow on H&B Media on Instagram, man. And of course, while we're here with you, man, you can subscribe to our Patreon, man, patreon.com/Barbers Chat Network. As you can see right here, if you were watching this on YouTube or, things like that, you can just scroll right here, scan on in, and take you right over there to the Patreon, man. We've got all different type of tiers and things like that, man. So check that out as well. And of course, visit the bcnet.com, which is one-stop shop for everything Barbers Chair Network, man. And while we are at it, I would love for you guys to support 79 the Hallis, man. Let's help us do this London trip to cover the Bears and the Jaguars game. We're going to keep this link up till October 1st. Any type of help is accepted. It's a dollar. You can't even donate. Just retweet, tell somebody, think whatever, help out. We're trying to reach $3,000 by October 1st. We already halfway to our goal, so we'll really appreciate anybody else who can help on that front, man. We've got a big show for y'all today. We've got Courtney be joining in the second hour, and let's bring in the rest of the crew right now, man. We've got Bang and Tiger Hoods himself, Dante. What's going on, y'all?
Yes, sir.
Yo.
Yes, sir. Fresh off the course, fuck you, me. Fresh off the course, third place, fuck you, me. Glad to be back. Another Friday, man. I mean, I don't want to talk about it, but when the last time the Bears went undefeated in preseason? Like, I know that shit don't mean nothing, but it means something.
It was actually
it don't.
I was about to say it was one day like 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it don't mean nothing, but it means something to me. It means something.
I mean,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
We'll get into that in a minute. Hold on. This nigga. Keep going. Go ahead. My bad. Keep going.
No, bro. Like I said, no. It's solid, man. Going on into the weekend. College football's about to start, so excited about that.
FanDuel time.
Really, just excited. I mean, see, y'all say that FanDuel shit. I live in a state where gambling is still illegal, my brother. So I don't have as much fun as y'all have. But at the same time, living in the South, living in the SEC country, actually, no, it was a scramble and we shot a motherfucking 62. Thank you very much. You a hater. But no, I live in SEC country. So, it's great. Like, college football season is legit great for me every year. Like, since I've moved down here, I've seen some amazing college football games. So I'm really excited about college football, especially with the Big Ten and the SEC being as large as they are now, you're gonna see some really crazy matchups. So,
somebody
football is here.
Can somebody explain this to somebody who's only in their second year of watching college football? Now they said this week is week 0. What the fuck does that mean? Like, what is week 0? And like, who are the game? Like, is there only one game on tomorrow? Because like, I was looking at my ESPN app and it's only showing me one game. Why are people talking about there's multiple games tomorrow? Like, I'm confused about that. I need some help on that.
I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you, but I just know we they usually call it week 0 because a lot of these games are not like the games you're waiting for. Like it might be like one good game, but it's usually like those patty cake games to get you really started for the season.
Okay, so how many games on tomorrow is the question? I have no idea. I'm trying to find out.
It's multiple, but Georgia Tech versus Florida State
is the game to watch.
It's the game to watch.
Okay, that's the game to watch tomorrow.
That's the best, probably the best game that's gonna be on tomorrow.
Okay, all right, cool. Okay, what Clemson don't play tomorrow? I could have sworn I saw something about Clemson playing tomorrow. Or was that next week?
No, Clemson plays Georgia, I think next week.
Okay, next week,
Friday.
Okay.
I actually might go to that game. But
okay,
Clemson playing Georgia.
All right, I'm definitely happy about that. We will have a college football correspondent this season, so I will give more information on that as we get into it. This is how you know it's been a busy day because we're supposed to be live on Instagram and I ain't even pressed the fucking button. So now I'm pressing the button now. So I would text me right now. Stop fucking texting me. Okay, I am on live as you can see right now. So everybody who's watching us on Instagram right now, thank you for joining us on Instagram. I apologize if you missed the first 5 minutes of this show, but you got on it right at the right time, man. Is one thing I've been shooting last week. The reason we didn't have a show last week was because of the I'm Not Gonna Hold You Chicago Bears preview sketch special, which I was shooting. J.R.Bang was with me. Mikey was with me. My brother Flores was with me. Shout out to Pillars in Orland Park. We shot a big portion of it there. Shout out to Hallis Hall for letting me use the Midway area to shoot some stuff over there. Shout out to a lot of people who work. You'll see, but I don't want to spoil everything. But we're actually dropping the trailer on Monday. But for the fans, people who watch the show, I'm going to give you a glimpse of the trailer earlier today. So we're going to run this real quick. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Scott Lewis, host of I'm Not Gonna Hold You, and welcome to the Chicago Bears season preview special, man. It's me, Flo, J.R.Bang, Mikey, holding it down from the Pillar Store. Caleb Williams.
4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns.
Okay, we gonna get there. We're gonna break everything down for y'all. As you can see, they let me here in Hallis Hall. So we're gonna be interviewing some players. Here with DJ Moore. DJ, how you feeling after this big game today?
We all got a great connection from the line out to the receivers to the backs, and Caleb, of course.
We're with Daniel Harden from the Chicago Bears right now. Are you Team Kendrick or Team Drake? Which one are you? Okay, you on the right side, brother. We're going to be interviewing some of the Chicago media, get their thoughts on this upcoming season. Right now, I'm joined by the one and only Adam Johns.
Just in terms of the vibe, the talent, it reminds me of some of those better teams that I've covered.
No, I think they look real good, man. I think they still got a couple questions.
Then I think you can win 10 games. You can make the playoffs.
Mikey's also got some gambling knowledge for y'all. We're going to talk about all the topics going into the season. Are the Bears going to make the playoffs or they're not going to make the playoffs? Tune in, check it out. It's the Bears. I'm Not Gonna Hold Your season preview special on H&B Media TV and Barbershop Network. Let's go.
Watching Aaron Rodgers and I know he was a Green Bay guy. Sorry, guys, but.
Shout out our director and co-producer of this show, Nikhil Bellhall. He directed that. It was his idea to do a special, man. He really, really held it down. As you can see, it looks pretty good. If I may say so myself, also hit up the tailgate at Soldier Field last week. Got some good content off that. So we will drop the trailer on all socials and things like that on Monday. But for everybody who watched the show, just wanted to give y'all a little bit of a sneak peek. So that will be dropping exclusively on the Patreon on Wednesday, October 25th. Not October 25th. That's October. August 28th. I don't know where I got October 25th. August 28th. And then we'll be dropping a week later on all the other, platforms and things of that nature, man. So, what y'all niggas think of the trailer, man?
Oh, A1. I mean, I was working, so I couldn't come in town and see niggas and tap in and really help out. But I mean, y'all did a great job as usual. So I'm really excited to see it and looking forward to seeing it.
We brought Bang out on an adult night last week.
Yeah. Y'all brought me out there, but I'm excited, man. I can't wait for everybody to see my delusion. Delusional was a key word when we recorded, so I can't wait to see everybody's delusional picks get killed because some people are a bit scared of excellence.
I'm already regretting my record pick, by the way. I'm already regretting my record pick that I said on there. I want to double. I want to kind of take back 2 wins off there, but that's just how I feel about that. But you will watch that. Yeah, I think I put a little bit too much dip in my chip. I really did.
12 and 5, brother. 12 and 5.
That's what I said. But I'm thinking 10 and 7. Like I'm trying to reel myself, which kind of contradicts my next point, by the way. But anyway, but as you can see, Bang has the I'm not gonna hold you hoodie on. I had the I'm not gonna hold you hoodie on in the trailer. The store is dropping very soon, and what I mean by very soon, I mean maybe in the next week. So pay attention. Monday is gonna be a big news day on the Barbershop Network. We got store information for y'all, and we also got the trailer for those of you who didn't see this on here, man. So let's get into our first topic of the day, man, here on I'm Not Gonna Hold You. It's time to believe. Bears fans, it's time to believe. I just said I want to take off 2 wins off my prediction that I just said, but it's time to believe in this team. I think something that I've seen on not just social media, but something I saw in person as well when I was in the tailgate last week. Getting a vibe of the fans. And I know it was a preseason vibe, so I don't want to put too much from it. Like niggas was hype, but niggas wasn't like that hype. You know what I'm saying? And that is, everybody kind of, being a little cautious, a little scary, as I might want to say. The vibe that I got from a lot of people was, I'm afraid of being hurt again. What if this doesn't work? I've been let down so many times. And I'm going to tell Bears fans this, bro. Open yourself up to love. We have never been in a situation like this before. Now, does preseason mean anything? Absolutely not. The 0-16 Detroit Lions went undefeated in the fucking preseason. The 2022 Chicago Bears, who won 3 ball games, also went undefeated in the preseason. So I'm very aware that the preseason doesn't mean anything with these guys going 4-0. None of that means anything in the grand scheme of things. I understand that, but you need to trust what your eyes are seeing. And what your eyes are seeing, is that this guy is for real. This guy, Caleb Williams, it just looks different. Like I think with every Bears quarterback, not just Justin. I'm not going to single Justin out, but with Mitchell Trubisky, with Jay Cutler, it was hoping that this person doesn't do something stupid with it. I think even in these 2 preseason games that Caleb was playing, you've seen the special talent that he showed in 2 years at USC. He showed in a short time that he played with Oklahoma. And you feel like it's going to be all right. Is he going to have his ups and downs? 100%. He's a rookie. There's going to be games where it looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. There might be a 3 interception game. You're going to have some games where this dude looks like he's ahead of the curve and he has 4 touchdowns. Embrace the ride. It's going to be some ups and there's going to be some downs. But you've never had a situation where you had weapons. Like the best offense. I actually looked it up today. I actually did some stat work, which I don't do a lot of because I really don't care about naming stats on this show. But I looked up some numbers. Since the year 2000, the Chicago Bears have only averaged, the highest they've averaged is 27.6 points per game. This team can do way more than that, I believe. I believe they can get up to not way more, but they can get up to the 28 points per game. When have you ever seen offensive weapons like you have here? Like in 2013, you had the Brandon Marsh, you had Alshon Jeffrey, you had Martellus Bennett, had more Matt Forte. It was a fun team. But here you got DJ Moore. You got Keenan Allen. You got Roma Dunze. You got Cole Kmet. You got Gerald Everett. You've got DeAndre Swift. You got Khalil Herbert. There's so many weapons on this team to help out your rookie quarterback that I think is going to be different this time. And so you got a defense, which depth-wise has looked great and looks great. And they added another addition to it today. We'll get to that in the local hour here as well. And I think something about that we gotta understand is that when you're a fan, I personally don't get the I'm scared of getting hurt thing, because you look at it like this. Let's just say he fails, which I don't see bust when I look at this kid at all. But let's just say he fails. Is this any worse than what you've seen in your entire life as a Bears fan? No, it is not. At least you took a shot. I think at the bare minimum that he'll just be a really, really good quarterback. I think that's his floor, is that he's just a really, really good quarterback. Maybe Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins wise, and even that would be the best quarterback in franchise history. That's why I wouldn't worry about it. That's what being a sports fan is about. I open yourself to love, Bears fans. It's like if you got your heart broken many, many times, and you finna go into a relationship saying, "Well, I don't want to get in a relationship with this woman, or I don't want to get in a relationship with this man because I might get my heart broken again." Maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the one. What that person that you're talking to now has nothing to do with the person you used to talk to. Embrace it, accept it, and ride the wave. That's what I want to tell Bears fans, man. Is just, embrace it, man. I think this is going to be different. I think that we need to stop the woe is me thing. In the words of my man Jason Goff, we acting like the dude who had to find girl and says, "Man, I shot out of my range." Like, no, my nigga, you deserve to find woman. That's really what I think about that. I'm gonna go to Bang first. What do you think about this woe is me attitude that Bears fans have been having, and what you think about it?
It's a loser mentality. Point blank, period. It's a loser mentality. I get it, heart been broken, but I told my boss this today. I said, I feel like we're going to go undefeated. And he was laughing. I said, here's what I mean. I'm not saying we're going to win every game. What I'm saying is that when was the last time you watched the Bears game, they lost, and you was like, you know what? That's cool, because we're going to be okay. Ain't been able to do that in a while. It's been quite some time since we have watched the Bears game and been cool, because whether win or lose, we know we're going to be okay. That's where I'm at. I know win or lose, we're going to be okay. Even if this season don't go the way that I want it to go, I feel like we are going to be okay, because I feel like we have everything in place for us to be successful, not only this year, but going forward. So y'all gotta kill this loser mentality, man. Y'all gotta know and understand that they're building, or trust that Ryan Poles and company is building something good, and we're gonna be okay. Not just short term, but long term too.
Dante, what you feel about that? Where is your level right here of excitement, and what would you say to fans who say they're, worried about getting their heart broke?
I mean, if you scared, go to church, nigga. Like at this point in our lives, like we've had terrible quarterback after terrible quarterback. Like, what are you here for? Like, be happy. Like, this is the first time in franchise history we've had the number one pick, and we picked it on a guy who's been called generational since he was 18 years old. So, I mean, at this point, like, if you can't get behind this, I really don't know what you're here for. Like, I don't like that. And like, I felt this way really all week when the people were making the Justin Fields comments and shit. And I'm somebody who, was a big Justin Fields fan. It's like, bro, like, I don't know how you watch this kid play and you're still talking about Justin Fields. Like, it's like, let that shit go. Like, it's time to live in the now, be excited. Even when I was watching Hard Knocks and bro said, no, I don't get nervous. Like, I haven't been nervous since my first game of high school. Like, we deserve this. Like, this is the type of quarterback that deserves to be in Chicago wearing that C on the side of his helmet. So for me, I'm just excited. And I think for anybody that's a Bears fan, this is your moment to really just live in the now and let all the bullshit go and just enjoy the ride with Caleb. Because, I mean, one thing we've seen, like, all he's a diva, he's this, he's that. I haven't seen that kid do nothing but love football. Like, he don't even get fits off, and he rich. Like, it's one of those things where it's like he doesn't care about. It seems like he doesn't really care about anything but football. And so, for all of the Hollywood talk, all of the he's this, he's that, I haven't seen anything but a quarterback. So, I mean, I think this is the moment as Bears fans to really just, enjoy the season, enjoy his development, and enjoy the season? Or what are you sitting here trying to nitpick at this for? What do you gain from that?
Yeah, and that too. I shout out my guy Rob. He's in the Instagram chat, and he said this we put. He said facts, not falling for it until it happens. This is my thing. This is sports, people. This is sports. Ride the way, bro. Like it's a sports. Like the thing that just confuses me, and like I've said before, if they fail, let's just take worst case scenario here. Let's say absolute worst case scenario, Caleb is a bust, which by the way, I don't see happens at all. Does your life as a Bears fan really get any more worse? Like, let's be honest about this. It can't get no worse than it is right now. And eventually it's gonna have to happen. Look at what happened with the team up north, the Cubs. They had the 100-year jokes, the Bartman jokes, and then people they got Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, Javi Baez, Woods Contreras, signed John Lester, signed John Lackey, got that good rotation. And they went to the NLCS and that first big year in 2015, and then went to the World Series and won the World Series after that, and went to the NLCS again the next year after that. Eventually, it's got to happen. You got to believe your eyes. I feel if you're waiting for that moment, you're robbing yourself of watching the whole story be complete. Accept the fact that you might lose, that this team might stink. Let's just accept that worst case scenario and put in your head that, you know what, if that happens, I'm going to be fine. I've watched Moses Moreno. I've watched, Shane Matthews. I've watched Jay Cutler. I've watched Rex Grossman. Like, it can't get worse. And anything except the fact that this team on paper, Poles has done everything he needed to do. And now just ride with the wave. That's just pretty much where I'm at it at this point. And I just don't understand. This is not me being super optimistic because I feel like I'm taking not even a cautious approach, but I have a quote unquote realistic view of where this team should go and where this team should go. And honestly, even if you want to jump off the window and say, this team's going to the Super Bowl, do that. In the words of Cole Kmet, he told us the media, fan how you want to fan. If you want to go all the way out the deep end, do that. But enjoy the ride. Shout out Bobby in the chat. Bobby said, Sylvia, you say this about the Cubs all the time. Enjoy the ride. Exactly. Bears fans need to enjoy the ride, bro. Stop asking, we're going to be there in 5 minutes. How much? When we going to stop at a rest stop? Just enjoy the ride, Bears fans. That's all I wanted to say about that, man. Anything left on this before we go to our next topic?
Yeah, my boss said this to me, and it made sense. When I had said what I said, he was like, yo, so you don't remember the 85 Bears, right? I was like, nah, I was 2. It's going on 3. He's like, yeah, it makes sense. It's like it's a different feeling when you go into any game, whether win or lose, knowing it's going to be okay. Like when the Bulls was going through their run, when they lost to random ass teams, like when they went 72-10 and they lost to the Raptors, was we tripping?
I mean, I was only 8, so I don't even know if people were tripping like that.
But even if you was 8, was you like, no?
No, I thought Michael Jordan couldn't miss a shot till 1998. So no, I did. Yeah.
Like that's the point that I'm making. I believe that we are in a situation where win or lose, it's like, all right, we lost today. All right, so what? We gonna be all right. And I think if you embrace it like that, then you will be in a situation where the glass will always be half full instead of half empty. If you come into the season like, I don't know, you stay your ass over there with that nasty ass energy.
Yeah, exactly. And this is how I'm going to make Bears fans feel a little better before we move on to this next point. Hard Knocks 0319 since like 2018. No, it's different 2018 because I'll say this. As good as that 2018 team was, we always had a fear of Mitch fucking it up. That wasn't a fear. That wasn't a fear. That was facts. Like every Bears fan had to talk themselves into Mitch Trubisky because they were so upset that they drafted him over Freaky Sean. That's just really what that came down to. So that's a different situation. But here's the last thing I'm gonna say, and then I'm going to move on from this thing. It's like just enjoy the ride, but also you got to know too that, like you said, you shouldn't trip about it because it's a different team. It's a different team. I could see if there was things where it's like, oh, this isn't 100% the way it needs to be, or maybe we still need this. I think that everything that Ryan Poles could have done, he did. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like you're robbing yourself of that. It said Mitch made you nervous with every throw. Not only that, every quarterback in Bears history has made me nervous with every throw. You know what I'm saying? Like every Bears quarterback. And also too, if you want to look at, I know a lot of Bears fans out there think that the Chicago media hates the Bears. And I'm gonna be real. Before I became a member of the media, I thought the same thing. If you want any more proof that this team is different, shout out my boy Dan Wiederer. Go to his Twitter account. He don't give love to nobody right away. They like he's said so many different positive things about it. Like it's kind of been like a like over. I haven't never seen in my 4 years covering the team everybody in the media kind of on the same page about the quarterback position. It's just a little different, man. And maybe I can say this because I've had the pleasure of being able to see him in practice every day to the point where I don't even worry about it anymore. Like I think that's what it's like, and I think a lot of Bears fans probably relax after the first couple games. But that's why I said, yeah. Shane O'Mac said, yeah. Listen to the players. Montez said Caleb's getting better after every practice is scary. Look, they love Justin, but I ain't never heard what they talk about with Caleb they did with Justin.
Never.
Like they asked Cole Kmet, it was actually part of that. She's like, I don't want to set you up, but what's the difference between Caleb and the other quarterbacks you had? He said he's different. And DJ Moore, they asked DJ Moore, you know, what faith do you have in this offense? He said, we got Caleb Williams. I got a lot of faith in this offense. And this is a guy who was Team Justin. I don't know. I play with whoever I got to play with a couple months ago. Jalen Johnson was, we ain't doing that Hollywood shit. Now he's like, nah, Caleb, great. Like, it's different, man. So that's all I'm saying, man. But let's go to our next topic. The preseason is officially a wrap here for the Chicago Bears, and there'll also be a wrap for the NFL by the end of this weekend, man. And we are fully getting ready for week 1 of the NFL, which we will be 2 weeks away from this Sunday. The Bears will be starting off against the Tennessee Titans. First of 2 AFC South matchups. We'll be breaking down the AFC South in the second hour. Preseason, Bears went 4-0. Like I said, doesn't mean much, but we saw what we saw from Caleb. We saw what we saw from this defense. And, I feel like what I would take from this preseason more than anything, if you can take anything from this preseason, is I just like Caleb's demeanor about things. And I feel like he's gotten better and things don't faze him, which is a good thing. He didn't start off that well in the last game, which we found out in Hard Knocks, and we'll get to in a minute. That was more of a microphone issue, speaker issue from the helmets while the players couldn't come in, but he bounces back well from things. And I think that even the mishap that Roma Dunze made when his foot was out of bounds, which I was so upset about because that was the best throw today. He's learning. That's why these preseason reps matter. And that's why you want to get it out now. I think it's been a good preseason for him. I think that we've seen, that Tyson Bagent's kind of went to that next level as far as a backup is concerned. I think he did pretty good for the 4 games that he played last year. I think he did pretty good for a rookie undrafted. This year, you can really tell he's put in the work and he's had a really good camp. And he was great these last 2 games, and he's really established himself as a really, really good backup. And that's something I think for the Bears is very, very exciting to see. The defense, I think the secondary is super deep. A lot of people always say, Jonathan Owens, he's Simone Biles' wife. No, Jonathan Owens can play some ball, man. I really like what I've seen from him in camp as a backup, playing when Jaquan Briscoe's been hurt, not being out there. You got a whole bunch of other guys in secondary have really stepped up. Jalen Jones has been good. Josh Blackwell. Our guy Reddy had a big game last night against Kansas City, 2 picks. 1 was a pick 6. So I think that anything that I've just seen from this in a preseason has been that this is going to be a very deep team. Do y'all think Khalil and Vilas? We'll get to that in just a minute. We're going to talk about who we think will make the roster, who we don't think will make the roster. But Dante, what'd you think? What's your thoughts on what you've seen from the Bears in this preseason so far? Well, not so far, but not if it's over.
I'm not gonna lie. Like normally, I'd just be like, "Man, it's just preseason," but like just given all of the hype around this team and everything we were expecting to see, I've been really excited, bro. At every phase of the ball, I think Torrey Taylor has been amazing punting the ball. I think our defense has been amazing. I think our offense has been amazing. The fact that they've put up 25 in every game, again, I know it's preseason, but we've had pretty anemic offenses over the years, and as you go down the depth chart, it's usually gotten worse and worse. But to see Tyson Bagent really sitting out there in the pocket, slinging that bitch, and looking like he's in command of the offense, And maybe the Hard Knocks episode sprinkled a little bit extra on top when you saw him sitting there talking to Flus and breaking down plays and saying what he sees. But he looks completely different than last year. I mean, let's be honest. Tyson, as much as we wanted to see him succeed, he was throwing ducks last year. And
Oh yeah.
throughout the preseason, you've seen him really putting the ball on the money where receivers need it. And so he's been really good. The defense has been amazing. We've seen depth at every position that we had, pretty much we had concern about. I think the offensive line has really blocked with I don't want to say a different type of passion because that would imply that they didn't block for Justin. But I think when you see everybody buying in and everybody seeing what Caleb can do, and that's making them work harder and saying, okay, we're gonna get this off, or we're gonna be better as an offensive line. So I think for the preseason, I was really excited. I really enjoyed everything I saw. And so it's really one of those things where it's like, as you set your depth chart and head into week one, how can you set up that consistent flow going forward to where all of this same energy is going into the regular season and then some? With Valus Jones playing running back and actually looking like a running back, and when they first announced it, or Scott, when you first said it, when you were at camp, we joked about the whole Cordell Patterson thing and shit like that. But it was like, wait a minute, like he actually looks like he knows what he's doing playing running back. You feel me? And like the offense actually looks like an NFL offense where the timing is on point and they're moving. And that first preseason game when Caleb stepped under center and then he brought Cole in motion. And he moved the pocket, like all of that shit is stuff that we haven't seen from our quarterback, in a very long time. So, I can't lie. Preseason really just fed in that all of the hype that I've given this team and the whole 12-5 prediction that I've had since the draft. But yeah, it really just fed into all of that, and it's so like. It's been, like you said, like you're right. Not many missed blocking assignments. Like people really look like they're on point. And to your point, Scott, like it's one of the topics we had a few weeks ago, where it looks like Flus is like he looks like a legit head coach. Like it looks like he's delegating. He's saying, "Hey, you do this, you do this, you do that." But I'm gonna sit here and hype everybody up, and it's actually working. So I mean, my final thoughts on preseason is like I really think this is gonna be a very good football team. And that might be an understatement.
It's crazy too. Even though you can't take too much from preseason, if the Bears would have had a fucked up preseason, it'd be full on panic mode right now. So I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though you can't stay tough in preseason, you also know if the preseason would have been bad, people would have been out here freaking out at the same time as well, man. But Bang, what you thought about preseason?
Greatest preseason ever. Greatest preseason ever. It's not just the fact that they won all of their games. It's not that. It's the way that they won their games. The offense looked like it was on point. The defense looked like it is clicking on all cylinders. That defense, the fact that yesterday went the way that it went, to me said a lot. Because it's not because they went up against the Kansas City Chiefs because it was their backups. But they had their backups out there too. When it comes to great teams, when you look at great teams, you look at them and you look at their backups, and you say that they're good. They should be good. The Bears kicked the backups of the Kansas City Chiefs' ass, and they look deep. They look like they are a deep, well-oiled machine, very well coached on the offensive defensive side. There are polls that are out there right now that's saying that. Or asking if Tyson Bagent is going to have a better career than Justin Fields. That says a lot.
Yeah.
This man, who is an undrafted free agent, people are asking the question, will he be a better prospect than what the 11th pick in a NFL draft? There's some people, me included, like, yo, the Raiders, because he clearly knows the offense that they're going to be using. There's people that's like, yo, maybe the Raiders could call. That team is very well coached on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, and they were very effective during this preseason. It was the best preseason I've ever seen Very excited.
Yeah, and I Tyson Bagent, I know, playing in Vegas, the actual city of Vegas, won't be bad, but I'm pretty sure that nigga don't want to be with what's his face, Luke Getzey again. Pretty sure you don't want to have nothing to do with Buddy again, man. He said, yeah, the backups look prepared, and that's really all you want. I was gonna talk about Daryl Taylor. We'll get into that 1 minute, but since we're on it, let's talk about our head coach, Mr. Matt Eberflus. A lot of question marks about Flus coming into not only this preseason camp, but just the season in general. Like, a lot of people wondering, how is he going to be? You know what I'm saying, when it comes to putting the team together. I think that, first episode of Hard Knocks, people started taking them seriously. And I've been saying all camp, really through the offseason process of OTA's rookie minicamp, he sounds like a football coach. Now, he looks like a football coach with the beard, but I really feel like he's learned a lot from these last couple of years. He even said on his interview on the Score today with Lawrence Holmes that he felt that, just like players, he learned stuff as well. And that's a good thing for him, that he's trying to just, taking advantage or making changes from the mistakes he's made in the past. I think last year, like we've always said, the Bears should have won 10 games instead of 7. He had a big part in there. It was a lot of decisions that weren't well. But I also feel like you got to give him credit for the way that the defense ended the season. And the biggest growth to me that he showed was in this preseason game against Cincinnati. He said, like, we were only expected to have Caleb and the starters play a certain amount of plays, but I didn't like how they played. I didn't want to end their preseason with them looking like that, so I kept them out there to see if they could get a score. That to me shows the biggest change we've seen. So I'm not gonna give him an A for my preseason grade, but I get a nigga solid B. I liked what I saw from Flus in the preseason and camp. And now it's time to take the things he learned and put it into actual game, because it doesn't matter. I won't say it doesn't matter, but you can prepare all the way you want, have the good camp, have the good preseason. But I want to see how he's going to be in game, how he's going to be with adjustments going with the flow of the game. Things aren't going the way you wanted to go. I mean, Lovie Smith is the second best coach in Bears modern history. His biggest problem was adjustments. Lovie was not good with adjustments. So we'll see how much Flus really learn when it comes time to actually put this in game situations, man. Dante, what grade would you give Matt Eberflus for the way he's handled preseason and camp so far? That is a fine, because you were on mute, brother.
I would give him an A. I would give him an A without question. I think Flus has done a great job, and I know we talked about the Hard Knock effect, where they're featuring him and they're showing him and they're highlighting him in a way that makes him look like he is a great head coach. But no, I think this is a guy who really has grown into his role as a head coach, and he's more so now, really, like I said earlier, just delegating and saying, you do this, you do this, you do this, and I'm going to sit here and tie it all together. And so far throughout the preseason, he's done a great job, with everything we've seen, with the transition from Justin to Caleb, just keeping the locker room under control. And now, like you said, we've heard vet after vet who was sitting here saying, man, I'm rocking with Justin. Dave shut that shit up real quick. And so, I think that's also a testament to the head coach having control of his locker room and really saying, hey, y'all, like we got a guy here. Let's buy in. Let's keep doing what we need to do. And then he's going to do what he does. And so I think, like I said, as far as Flus, I would give him an A+. And I think as the season goes on, obviously, like you said, like we always say as Chicagoans, we have that wait and see approach with the Bears. But nah, I really think like he's finding his groove as a head coach. And it's one of those situations where like he's gonna be really good.
Bang, what are you feeling about Eberflus?
Oh, that was a name. Like Eberflus had, and this coaching staff had the team very well prepared throughout every game that they played in this preseason, starting with the first game into this last game right here. The other part about it is that he got something to prove. Like Eberflus, if you look at last year, a lot of people were wondering why is he still coaching this team. The way that team started off, they started off terrible. And he looked like he was overwhelmed and he was in over his head and being a head coach. You had, reportedly, allegedly, people on his defensive side of the ball, the former defensive coordinator practicing freaky time, has some HR issues.
It's kind of
And
crazy.
so-
We still don't know 100% what happened, which is
Yeah, we
wild.
still don't have 100% thought about what happened, but the fact of the matter is something happened that HR had to be involved. And he said, you know what, I quit, to save some issues. So Eberflus has a lot of stuff on his plate coming into the season and lots to prove. Some people would say that he's on the hot seat, so to speak. The way that this team looked in the preseason, albeit the preseason, is they looked sharp. I didn't even see a lot of penalties. Like, that's the interesting part about this offseason. It's preseason, excuse me. I didn't see a lot of penalties. That tells me everything I need to know about the coaching and what they've implemented, because if this team was going to be undisciplined and all of that, then guess what? You would have been seeing a lot of penalties as teams get used to playing with each other, players get used to playing with each other in the preseason. You didn't see that. It tells me everything that I need to hear.
Yeah, definitely. I want to answer this question in the chat. Hard Knocks _0319. So Scott, all last summer the defense was trouble, a little pushback from the offense. Why do you think it was different this summer? Well, I think a lot of it has to do with their quarterback is actually vocal. Justin, and it just was Justin's personality. Justin's not a talker. It's not nothing against Justin. He's just not a talker. And also, I just feel like the offense believes more in the actual offense. Like our guy Greg Braggs Jr. said, by the way, Braggs, get healthy, even though he had his knee surgery today. So, but like Bragg told me when we was at camp last year, have you been paying attention that they're not really throwing the deep ball? They probably went deep maybe 3 times last year. So last year, the offense was just not what it is now. And I think there's a lot more confidence with the offense, and you have more characters on the offense as well. You got the Keenan Allen, you got the Roma Dunzes, you got Caleb, DeAndre Swift. It's a much different team. So that's why I think they're a lot more vocal this year than they were in past years, man. Let's go to our next topic, man. Last night after the Bears won their preseason game, Zach Pickens went down with injury. He had Coach Flus. He went up there and said that he was concerned about the depth of this defense on the defensive line and defensive tackle front, saying that they will be addressing it either through a trade or through free agency to do that. I tweeted on the 79th Hallis page that I feel that Poles will be making a move before the start of the regular season, and that move happened today as the Bears traded for Seattle Seahawks linebacker Darrell Taylor. For those of you who might not know this guy, this is his 3rd year in the league. He got drafted, 4th year in the league. He got drafted in 2020. He is a guy who, has had 21.5 sacks in his first 3 seasons, averaging about 5.5 sacks a season. He's pretty much had around the same amount of sacks that Montez Sweat had in his first 3 seasons as well. And I think this is a good piece, good depth piece. I think this allows a guy like DeMarcus Walker to move more inside and helps him a little bit in his job is just to get to the quarterback. Kind of fills the role that Yannick Ngakoue filled last year when Montez Sweat came in. We forget that him and Tez were a nice little tandem before Yannick got injured. So I love this move. I think it's a move that's going to help out. And I think one thing we've seen from this defense in the preseason was that Flus is going to blitz a lot more than we thought he would do. They were sending heat in just the preseason. I really love Eric Washington's scheme as a defensive coordinator. He was somebody who blitzed a lot when he was in Buffalo, and it seems like he's brought that back. And from the highlights that I've seen and things like that, this dude looks like he is a product of CTE ball, and that's exactly what we need here with the Chicago Bears. So I like it. Bang, what do you think about that? I know you don't know too much about him. What you think about this move?
Hey, when you said CTE ball, what was my man, the former defensive coordinator of the Bears that had the bullets? Was it Greg Bloch?
Ooh, nigga,
I think it was.
Throwback out there.
Hey, man, that defense was lit. They put the bullets in the goddamn locker. Excuse me. No, but I like what I see about this defense. I don't know if it's Eric. I don't know if it's Flus, but I know this. They needed another pass rusher. So this move right here, It looks like it's solidified. I was doing a little research before we got started. I think he missed his first year due to like a leg fracture or something like that. But the last 3 years he's been playing, he's averaged 7.5 a year. In each of those joints basically, with 21 sacks in 49 games. So he looks to be a pass rush specialist. It remains to be seen if he can help out in the run game. And in the passing game, he looked like he'd be a tweak sometimes because y'all did throw a couple of plays up in the chat. There's like,
That
okay,
nigga
Buddy
ran
S,
on the field.
yeah, Buddy S could be a little bit of a tweak. But they need pass rushers, and I think you guys will hear it. You guys will hear it during the I'm not gonna hold you season preview. But we talk about the Philadelphia Eagles a lot, and how with the Philadelphia Eagles they had waves of pass rushers that came through. If we could get homie on the right path of doing that and really being somebody that can get after the quarterback, then it's going to make things easier for Montez Sweat. It's going to make things interesting for the defensive line with Dexter and Walker being able to be switching out in the three tech. So no, I love this pickup, and I love what Flus and Washington are currently doing right now. And with Washington being somebody that has been a defensive line coach for most of his career. Interested to see the growth in all of these players on that line. So I like this move, and I like what I see from the defense.
Dante, what's your take on this edition?
I think it has potential to be a very solid move. I don't know much about bro. Like you said, the 20 sacks is definitely something that excites you, especially given what we're looking for. And all we really want is more of a pass rush because we know we have great DBs back there. So for me, right now I'll hold off on giving it a grade, but I think it's a really good. It has potential to be a really good trade, especially with Eric Washington and everything he's done with defensive linemen and pass rushers. Period. So I think bro is an outside linebacker, ain't he?
Yes, he is an outside linebacker.
Yeah, but you know how that outside
Which
linebacker
they're essentially D ends.
Yeah, outside linebackers are essentially D ends 3-4-4-3. So we'll see how he adjusts. But I think with everything we know about our system and what we need, he fits a need. And so I believe Flus will work with him and get him in and put him in the best position to succeed. And like you said, it's now going to be interesting to see what they do with the pieces we already have in place. And how they move people around, maybe try them in other positions. But for him and everything we want from him, I think this fits a need. So once again, and obviously we're gonna get into polls and why he didn't do the Judon trade a little bit later. But I think it's a situation where this is just it fits a need, it fits a timeline, and it just works perfectly.
Definitely, man. I definitely agree with that, man. Let's go to our next. We're coming up on the thing that everybody likes to see on Hard Knocks, and that is cut day. Because why? Because we are Americans and we like wallowing in people's own misery. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Like let's just be 100% real with it. It's fucked up, but that's who we are as a country. And cut day is Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday. August 27th, but it's like 92, 95 man roster will be cut down to 53. So it's going to be a lot of people. Almost about 40 people who are going to be out of a job come Tuesday, man, which, you never want to see. But at the same time, you got to build a team that's going to be actually out here to compete. I'm going to go back to DA's question here. And here said, do y'all think Khalil and Valise? But that's what the fucking Chiefs called that nigga. Chiefs announced they called that nigga Valise Jones, which was hilarious. Do I think that Khalil and Velas will make the team? I actually do. I did say on this program that I thought my surprise cut was going to be Khalil Herbert, that he's going to get cut because I thought Roshan was going to have a big camp. I ain't seen this nigga Roshan on the practice field in like 3 weeks, damn near, kind of feel like. So yes, Khalil Herbert will be making this team. I think they're gonna carry 3 running backs. I don't have my 53 together because I'm just not going to sit down and write a 53-man roster. But I think that we want to talk about cuts. So people who I think will make the team, I think Travis Homer is going to get cut. I don't think you're going to keep 4 running backs, especially with you got Velas, who Velas is going to be kind of a Swiss Army knife. They might lead him. They might use him a little bit in punt return, kick return, which if we want to talk about question marks concern, that's my concern right there. Like, who is returning kicks? Well, they haven't really solved that yet. So what you got, what Velas does, Velas is going to be doing that, probably a little bit of that, doing running backs. And also he's probably going to be used as a receiver every now and then. He's Pole's firstborn son. He's not going to let go of this nigga. So I do think Velas will make the team. I think that somebody who there might be, with the Daryl Taylor, Daryl Taylor signing and trading, might some of them edge guys, I feel Daniel Hardy had a really, really good camp. I think he'll make it, but there may be some other guys who might get cut in advance. I think this secondary, you got a big decision to make. Jalen Jones, I believe is a lock, but I think it's going to be a little battle here between Josh Blackwell and my man Reddy. I don't have his full name in front of me. We just, but Reddy, because he had a big game. He had a big training camp and as well. I think it's going to be a battle there for that position. But if I had to name a surprise cut, who would be my surprise cut? I mean, even though I just said I think this man is making the team, I think the only surprise cut probably would be Velas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that Velas would be a surprise cut. I just don't see that happening. But if there was any big, I don't think there's going to be a big name and we look at like, oh, damn, they got cut. But if it was anything, it might just be Velas. But Wheeler, I hope Wheeler makes the roster. He's been a guy who, a lot of people have really liked, considering all the things he's got from Hard Knocks. And, I think it's going to be a cut, either not cut, but I think one of these guys is going to be on the practice squad. Who's going to be QB number 3? There's a new NFL rule now that you can keep 3 QB quarterbacks on the active roster. I personally think they're going to send either they're going to cut Rippon or they're going to send Rippon to the practice squad. And I think that Austin Reed, who's the star of this past episode of Hard Knocks, we'll get into in just a minute. I think he went crazy. He went crazy. I think he'll be QB3, man. But that's like what I'm expecting this week. Dante, who do you think is on the fringe, or who do you have, who you think will make the roster, who might get cut?
I think Austin definitely gonna make the roster. I think Rippon, it was cool for him to come in and camp as an extra body, but I don't think he makes the roster. My cuts, it's tough, bro, because like we talk about how depth is a great thing, but at some point you gotta make a decision. Everybody not gonna make this fucking team. So like when I really tried to sit back and think about who's going to get cut, I was really drawing a lot of blanks. Because like you said, with Velas, he's showing you, that adding the skill of a running back and the fact that he looked like a natural back there, even though he was going against 2s and 3s. We gotta acknowledge that. But he looked really good back there, running back. That was one of the guys I had on the boat with that I don't think will get cut. Given the fact that Roshan can't stay healthy, Herbert is off my list. Nick Davis, he's still off my list. I don't see him getting cut. So I think a lot of the guys that I thought that were going to get cut are probably going to make this roster. The bald eagle dude, buddy, who didn't we draft him? Yeah, I don't know about him.
Theo something. He's hurt. So.
Yeah, I don't know about him, but you can't cut him when he hurt, right? Ain't that one of the NFL rules?
I don't think you can. I think that's the NFL rule.
Yeah, like injury settlements and shit. Injury settlements and shit.
So he'll make it. So right now, I think more than anything, it's one of those situations where who's going to be a surprise cut?
Orlando says Roshan, but then you're expecting Travis Homer to make the team, which is why I don't. Unless Velas is the third back that they run with.
But you could run with Velas as a third back because he also could play wide receiver. Like, the versatility actually matters in today's NFL and the way offenses are ran. So I think the fact that he went out there and showed himself as a viable running back, that helped him. And I think he's going to really, really make the team. So, like, bro, I'm really drawing a blank in terms of who I think is going to get cut. Like, outside of who I think might get cut?
Who?
Buddy, who just had an amazing episode. Steady Jones. What's his name? Ready.
Ready?
Ready.
Ready.
So you think Ready will get cut?
I think Ready might get cut just because we got
Well,
a lot
I think
of DBs.
it'll be between him and Josh Blackwell.
Yeah, we got a lot of DBs. And Buddy from Howard, the running back.
Yeah, Ian Wheeler.
You know, Ian Wheeler, you know, he's shown some burst, but I don't think he's gonna burst on this team. Like he maybe practice squad, but like, do you want to be on the practice squad or do you want to go to medical school, my nigga? Like, I think
you ready to open them books, my nigga.
Yeah. So those are probably my two, like really that I can think of. But I think a lot of the people that I had on the bubble, they gonna make the fucking team.
Bang, who you got, man?
I don't have a surprise cut. I don't. Like, the only person that would be considered a surprise to me is Velas. And I thought he was gone 2 games ago. But this switch and even this game against the Chiefs, no, he's somebody that versatility is going to keep him there because he can play wide receiver and he can play running back. Homer, once he dropped that pass for that 4th down in the game, I was like, oh, yeah, he's done. So yeah. I think he's going to be cut. The wide receiver room is going to be interesting outside of, once you get past Scott, that's going to be interesting to see who they keep. The tight ends, I think they're good there. Like maybe Blasingame might be an interesting cut because, like, do you really need a fullback in this offense?
No.
So maybe I'll go with Kari Blasingame as the surprise cut.
That would be interesting if that was the case because they have phased out the fullback. To my brother's dismay, he's very upset about that, but he needs to wake up, understand this is 2024, man. But we'll see what that's going to be about. That's going to be a big conversation on Tuesday, man, when we get that final roster, which Flu said on his score interview today that they were going to be meeting today to talk about the roster with Ryan Poles. So speaking of our general manager, Ryan Poles had a big episode of Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks is in episode 3. To me, this one was the best episode of the season so far. We got a big look into what's been going on with the trading market. We've actually saw a little bit of kind of we saw in the Giants version of Hard Knocks. It really showed Ryan Poles working the phones, and it looked like he actually got Matthew Judon. We'll get to that in just a second, but I kind of want to address this profanity thing that we found out. A lot of that there was actually a thing, which a lot of people were, kind of realized, like, I ain't really heard niggas cussing on him, man. And the director of Hard Knocks was on CHGO Bears Hard Knocks recap show, and she said, number one, that the Bears, out of all the teams she's done, that the Bears cussed the least out of the team she's covered. And then number 2, said it was out of respect for the McCaskey family. Saw a lot of Bears fans are upset about that. And, why isn't it cussing? Me personally, I don't give a shit. And this is why I say I don't give a shit. Some people just don't like profanity. I know it's crazy in today's world that, they don't like profanity. Some people just don't like profanity, especially older people like, George McCaskey, Virginia McCaskey. They probably just don't want that. And you also got to remember the Bears didn't want to do this in the first place. The Bears were forced to do this. So I do feel like there was a conversation about it, like, oh, we'll do it, but just take the profanity out. It hasn't ruined it for me, to be honest with you. I just rewatched the Jets Hard Knocks. I'm currently rewatching the Dolphins Hard Knocks from the midseason. And yeah, those cussed on there, but it's not like it was Def Comedy Jam. Like it hasn't ruined it for me. I think some of the complaints that I also saw was not enough football stuff. And I think my guess to you is I don't know how many people have actually watched Hard Knocks in the last decade since social media has been a big thing and a lot of teams started doing their own behind the scenes content. This is pretty much what Hard Knocks is right now, where, you get the behind the scenes stuff. You get like a more of a, personal biography with some of the players that you don't know that well. And then, and then you got the games, which is what you've shown. The NFL added a clause where they can't show cuts anymore. As what they haven't done. That's a new rule. They can't do that. I guess they don't want to embarrass players on TV anymore, which is a big thing people love. I think Hard Knocks was such a phenomenon, and I'll say the first 15, 16 seasons because we had never seen the behind the scenes. That's what's so impressive. But now every team has a social media manager. Every team has somebody who's on, their iPhone at the beginning of the game or on a camera getting stuff at practice and things like that. That all this stuff is not really new to us. Even if you look at the Bears are pretty private, but they've got the 1920 football drive show they've been doing for like the last 3 seasons. So they've opened up a little bit with that. So me personally, I don't really care that much. But I understand why they would do that. If you're the NFL, you want to, make it good for, what I'm saying, the charter franchise number 1 of 14 who didn't want to do it. It said Sweat got that nigga word in that last episode. I didn't people have to go back and watch it. Dante, I saw you and our homie JB were very vocal on this. What do you think about this?
Yeah, no. I think it was just a sign of the times, and it shows you who runs this franchise and the way that they used to do business before Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles got in there. Because I think this is just a real old school shit. Like, I feel you on the whole, everybody don't like cursing. I respect my elders for the most part. I don't curse around them and things like that, so I can understand. But at the same time, Hard Knocks is a show that, part of the reason people tune into Hard Knocks is because it's supposed to be an uncut behind the scenes look into teams. Now, obviously, we all know that things are edited, things are cut to look a certain way. Even like with this episode, you could tell certain times when you heard Flus's voice, it was just chopped in from practice. Like, it wasn't him actually saying that shit during the game. But I mean, I think it's one of those things where people just wanted just that raw, uncut version. And to the, the producer saying, well, the Bears don't really curse that much. Okay, so show it. When, we're not saying give us every single curse word they say, but like you can tell in certain episodes when the curse words are bleeped out. And it's like, it's unnecessary. Like, prime example, Austin Booker was saying nigga a lot. And, as a nigga
he
that says
definitely
nigga
in the
a lot,
Buffalo game, that nigga says nigga.
Yeah, that nigga says nigga a lot. And they were bleeping it every single time. And it's like, I understand, but at the same time, that's not what Hard Knocks has been over the years. So, why change it now? But like you said, the Bears didn't even want to do this in the first place. So, we got to take what we can get. So, I mean, I agree. I don't think it's a really big deal. But when people pointed it out, I caught it too. So I was like, yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Bang, what do you feel about this? Does no profanity bother you?
Nah, I don't. Man, I ain't really listening to them trash talk and be like, bitch nigga hoe. Like, I'm not. I'm really looking at the play and some of the storylines and all of that. I ain't worried about the cussing. Now did it need to be taken away? I don't think it needed to be taken away, but no, this has been a great season. Whether this was the Bears, Cowboys, the Lions, Tigers, goddamn Jaguars, this has been a great season nonetheless. So I don't really give a damn if they're bleeping cursing.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. I thought you got cut off. Okay, go. But yeah, so yeah, I just don't care. Like, as a nigga who cusses a lot, it just don't bother me like that. But last week we weren't able to recap episode 2. We weren't going live. So what's my favorite moment? Like, anybody got like a favorite moment from these first 3 episodes? Dante, I'm gonna go to you first. Well, you have like a favorite moment from any of these first 3 episodes?
Honestly, my favorite moment is probably, it has nothing to do with football, but it was pretty dope when a few moments. I just like funny shit. But like when Caleb was hype about Lil Wayne, knowing his name, that was dope. that was really dope. Like, that was really dope. And also, I've been laughing for the past 2 days when that nigga Tyson Bagent walked off on Lil Durk, G. That shit was a motherfucker. Like, he had no interest in that breakdown. He was not trying to hear none of that shit. And when they started dapping up Lil Durk, all you saw was Tyson hair flowing in the wind as he was walking out.
Caleb dapped him up. Austin Reed was thirsty to dap him up. Tyson, like, man,
Austin Reed couldn't wait, bro.
Yeah,
Austin couldn't wait. That nigga Tyson walked off so fast, bro. I've been laughing at that for the last 2 days, but like, that's really been my favorite moment. Other than that, like, this team is I told my homies this one, like, throughout the first couple episodes, just like, Caleb is kind of boring. Like Caleb strikes me as a true football nerd. Like all the diva shit is out the window. I don't think he's a diva at all. Like he's just he loves football. Like when y'all be talking about he don't get fits off. I think Caleb legit like wake up and like, all right, I got a game today and throw a t-shirt on
like
and go
Adam
to the
Sandler.
fucking game. Like he don't care, bro. Like he really doesn't care. And I respect that. So I think for the most part, people talking about they getting tired of, DJ and Keenan's family and shit. Like, I mean, this is a really boring basic team. So I think that can play in our favor because I think a lot of these guys are just focused on winning football games. And that's in the city like Chicago. That's all we really want. Like that's what we want you to do. So I think my highlights have been those 2 moments. And just seeing Caleb embrace the fact that he's here to make history. Like you saw it with the interview with Big Cat. He understands why he's here. He understands what's happened here and what hasn't happened here. And so he's like, it's okay. You could say it. Like, it's kind of like when a pitcher got a no-hitter and don't nobody want to talk about it. He's like, nah, bro, say that shit. Like, we've never had a quarterback over 4,000 yards. We've never had a true franchise quarterback, and he's here to be all of that. So, the fact that he has embraced all of that, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, for me, man, I think that was funny. But as somebody who was an avid watcher of Hard Knocks since season 1, I think the things that I love the most are the inside meetings. You can see how it kind of is in the quarterback room, and I think we got a good insight into Ryan Poles and the way he moves and things like that. Seeing the DJ contract come together was dope. But my favorite, the rookie singing, has always been a funny part on any Hard Knocks. But Caleb not knowing the words to ordinary people, Rome just being all in it, singing Kiss Kiss from Chris Brown, which is hilarious when you know that nigga was 3 when that song came out. And then, Austin Reed had the moment of the series.
That boy went crazy.
He sung that joint one word for word, which I don't know how, Generation Z digest music. I'm guessing that this song got a revival from that little TikTok kind of revival. We remember when this song came out. It was a massive song when it came out, but it's got even a more of a kind of a second run here. So that was dope to see. But I have to say my favorite moment, which brought chills, like The Rock. You know what The Rock do when he come out? He points to the chill. The thing that gave me chills was when they brought my man Ray Clay back and they did the Chicago Bulls entrance.
Oh yeah.
That was cold, and to have it, just really hyping up, like the way he's walking through Hallis Hall, and you got it was just cold, bro. That was probably my favorite moment, and this is something that I've enjoyed. I feel like I would enjoy it a lot more if I wasn't part of the media, because with me watching now, it's just like, oh, I wonder what they cut out. You know what I'm saying? As I said on, I forgot what I said this on. I think I thought I was gonna get a big talking scene when I told Rome about the tornadoes, but obviously they didn't put that on there. But it's just that those probably been the most fun moments to me. Bang, what has been your favorite moment or moments of these first 3 episodes of
My favorite moment is the Matthew Judon conversation. You really got in depth into how this team was trying to improve, and they agreed to a trade, and it came down to contractual things, and they decided not to go through with the trade. And then even saying, hey, think about it like this. We was going to trade a 3 for Matthew Judon, but look at what we had to trade to get up to go get Austin Booker, how he was performing. Like that whole thing leading up to the Austin Booker piece, I loved it. That was my favorite moment of the series, because when we think about it, Matthew Judon, if we would have traded it for him, he's a bigger known name than who we got from the Seahawks. A Pro Bowler type player coming off of an injury at 32 years old. But we was like, yo, we need us a second pass rusher. And we've been saying this. And they not only tried to get one, they tried to get an everyday down one. So I love that whole situation, the thought process that went into it, and then leading up to, hey, this is what we did to get Austin Booker. So it might be good for us to not lose capital on somebody that was not trying to, really commit after 1 year. You want to see what it looks like. So Atlanta could take that chance. We ain't doing that.
And speaking of that moment, which I thought was amazing, the reason I thought it was amazing because we said on this show, I feel like 3 weeks ago, that they should go talk to Matthew Judon. And it also showed us the real that situation because we were getting a lot of mixed signals from what exactly happened. You had some people say that, oh, well, Poles wasn't trying to give up what the Falcons were what the Patriots were asking for. You had somebody else say, oh, well, the Falcons gave Judon a choice of whether it's going to be Atlanta or Chicago, and he chose Atlanta. And that wasn't the facts at all. The facts was the Bears and the Patriots agreed to a trade to send Matthew Judon. And you even see with the scene where he talked to King. I forgot my man's first name. He's part of player development, and he's like, he said, "Do you think we're gonna get it done?" And Poe's like, "Yeah, I think we're gonna get this done." And so it was, and also just shows just how smart Poles is and why I feel confident in him as a general manager. And I said when he got hired, I was one of the first people to say, me and my brother said it on the pod, I'm not giving this nigga nothing until he proves it to me. I'm not falling for the GM stuff. But the way he handled it was like you see, he was thirsty too. Like he wanted to give in, but he like, man, if he don't sign that contract, is it worth it? So for them to have agreed to the contract, to the trade, just showed me that he knows what it is. And even last night with them saying we're kind of worried about our defensive line depth. Boom. You add Darrell Taylor today. Like, it just shows me how he moved, and also showed that, the stuff that comes with being a general manager. So that is what I really, really enjoy from it, to see. Just kind of like an insight on how Ryan Poles works. Dante, what did you think about that scene?
I really liked it because this is one of the many reasons why we've said, throughout the entire offseason that we're behind, Poles, and we really believe in everything that he's doing and trust his vision and his the way he does business, his entire process. We saw a little piece of it. I think, obviously with the way Hard Knocks is set up, we got a little bit of it. We didn't get the true insight, but for him to just show us that basically, trade. I'm not going to trade a 3rd round pick for 1 year for a 1 year rental. That's just not something we're willing to do, and especially for a guy who's 32 years old and off an injury. So I think he just showed a bit of his intelligence and why we all as Bear fans now believe that we have one of the best general managers in the league. I think that was evident with this entire play, and I really enjoy watching that and seeing it play out in the way that he basically, like he said, just broke it down and said, "Hey, I'm not trading a 3rd for 1 year rental. It just makes no sense." And so he really did the right thing, and now we made this trade today. And so once again, Ryan Poles is showing you like he has a vision for this team and for the roster he wants to build, and he's going to stick with that, and he's not going to go away from it.
Yeah, man. And also you talking about, we traded this to get Austin Booker, which I feel like is a good segue to our final topic on the local hour before we bring in Courtney for hour 2. And that is Austin Booker's growth, man. This is a guy who was a project when he was drafted. He only played DN last year when he was with Kansas. So there's a lot of people wondering how's he going to be. He's kind of wet behind the ears. He's had a great camp, and he's had a great preseason. And just we got a little bit more of Austin Booker this week, and it also shows you just how much faith he had in him. Like, look, and Poles even said himself, like, look, I'll be sick if Judon has 20 sacks next year, but it doesn't make sense if we can't have him at least for a couple of years, which makes sense. And also just shows you how much they believe in Austin Booker. And they also gave us a little bit of a clip into the night they drafted Austin Booker. And I think Austin Booker has a real shot to be a major factor on this team. The way he's adjusted, he's a freak of nature. And one thing that I love about him from the small interactions we've had with him up there, the boy is locked in. Like he's got a little crazy to him, which is what you want in a defensive end, outside linebacker, whatever. You want him to have a little bit of crazy in him. It's like all he cares about is football. And I think that's been something that this guy could be somebody who could really be a big impact player this year. Bang, what do you like from what you've seen from Austin Booker's growth these last couple of weeks?
Motor. He keeps going and going and going and going. Pause. I like his motor. I feel like for somebody to come into this league and try to see some type of success, he needs to have a strong motor, and he has that. I was watching the game the other day, the last two games, and he's just always around the ball in some type of capacity. So I love that about him. He seems to have some good technique. And again, when you have a defensive coordinator who is a defensive line coach, one of the best defensive line coaches in the NFL, you can, I don't want to say you expect to see growth, but you are more optimistic. And the Bears traded up to get this man. So they had some type of idea about what they were getting. So to see that he's been seeing some success, to be placed in a pool of defensive linemen who's going to be on that other side opposite Montez Sweat, and to see the success that he's having is, to me, it might be only a matter of time that we see this man, with a couple of years with double-digit sacks. That's how much faith I have in this. Because also the Bears seem to do well at mid-round picks and defensive linemen too. So I expect to see some good growth for him in the next couple of years. I think they got to steal.
Dante, what you think about Austin Booker?
I think bro is nice. I think he got the potential to be a really good find. We talked about it. Well, they talked about it a lot during the draft when we first selected him, how, he was in the Max Crosby mode. And I hate when, we make these player comparisons, but I think everything you've seen so far is a guy with a great motor, and that goes a long way as a defensive lineman. So it's just a matter of seeing if he adds that weight to his frame and how he grows from there. But I think also playing in this defense with Montez Sweat and with whoever else we add on from there, I think it's only going to make him even better. So I think right now he is looking like a steal. It's still way too early. I made the mistake of hyping up Bears draft picks and they turned out to be trash. So I'm a hold off. But I think right now it does. Like I said, it appears to be a steal. It's a great pick at somebody that, if he does pan out to be who we think he can be, you could spend a lot less money on that second defensive end, rather. So, you save a little more by going with that 5th round draft pick.
Definitely, man. That concludes the local hour. I did not show the artwork in the first segment. Bang didn't get to sing the song, but for those of you who want to see the artwork, this is that was
the local hour.
There you go.
That was the local hour.
That was the local hour. If you want this separate and you don't want to hear the rest of the show, subscribe to the Patreon. Take your phone right here and scan it, or you can just go on whatever device, patreon.com/Barbershop Network, and you will have the solo version of the local hour, man. We will be back about 5 minutes on the other side of this, man. We're going to go around the league. We're going to talk about the Tua Brian Flores situation. Talk about the Bo Nix era in Denver. We're going to talk about, is Tom Brady being an old get off my lawn nigga, or is he speaking some facts about this new order of era of QBs? And we're also going to continue our Inside NFL Division series as we break down the AFC South. We'll be back in 1 minute, y'all. I'm not going to hold you. Season 5, we back September 6th. Think we talk about Chicago Bears too much? Guess what? We doubling down. It's going to be more Chicago Bears talk. In fact, we're going to be starting the show with Chicago Bears talk. We're not talking basketball. We don't hear none of that basketball bull. We here for real football. That's the talk we're going to give y'all. If you're looking for stats, if you're looking for real analysis, if you're looking for, advanced stats, this is not the show for you. So I would turn this off right now. Go watch your NFL countdown, whatever bull be watching on Sundays. This is the stuff we're going to be talking about all season. It's your boy Scott, Barbershop Network, HB Media TV. I'm not going to hold you. Season 5. Tune in September 6th. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have got the full squad back here. Before we introduce Courtney, I just want to say, support the fun. Anybody trying to get us to London to cover this Bears Jaguars game on October 13th? Me and My brother Flows are trying to raise $3,000. You know, we can take care of all the, all the things we need to get out there, give y'all top-notch content. We're going to keep this link up till October 1st. If you want to help us out, we are already halfway at our mark. We have 1,500 right now. Shout out to everybody who's donated. Even if you can only donate $1 or, donate 50 cents, or even if you can't donate, just, spread the link, retweet whatever, tell a friend and tell a friend. You can use your phone, scan this, will take you right to the GoFundMe, or you can look right down in the description box here on YouTube to take you right to the link, man. So we appreciate that. Again, we've got the one and only Courtney Collarbro here. You can follow her on all social media platforms at 1-800-Collarbro. Courtney, what is going on?
It'd probably help if I unmuted myself.
Yeah, right.
Happy Friday, everybody. How are we doing?
Happy Friday. I'm doing pretty swell. Thank you for helping me out with the college football schedule on my phone. I was losing yesterday. I know there's more.
As a daughter of Alabama, okay, I take my college football very, very seriously. So this is like a high holiday for me tomorrow. So do not text me. The phone will be on D&D.
Oh, my phone will be on D&D as well.
I will have some white wine, like a good Southern white woman, and some Rotel dip ready to go. I'm stoked.
Definitely. I'm definitely excited for that as well. Last year was my first full year watching college football, which I enjoyed. So I'm ready for year two. Like I said earlier, we have a college football correspondent this year. We will announce that when it's time to announce that. Shout out to all the correspondents in season 5. I'm not going to hold you. I hope y'all like that trailer that I just shot, which was actually something that I just shot, while I'm actually working on a bigger top secret project that I was working with. We were shooting that in downtown LA. So shout out our guy, co-producer of this show, and also our director of the special, and also the barbershop in that video guy, our guy Nikhil. He was like, yo, we should shoot like a commercial. And by the way, there's a lot more commercials coming this season. I'm about to get in my real production bag when it comes out that. Shout out to the homie Larry Legend. He's also going to be one of our correspondents this year. He's coming back as our culture correspondent. Of course, our man Pat Vito. Pat will be back as our NBA correspondent this year. And you know that they're not correspondents, they're part of the crew. But Courtney, Dante, and Mike, you're going to have the best MLB playoff coverage for y'all this season. So we got everything covered in season 5 of the show, but it's kind of only season 2, doing it the right way with you guys and promoting it the right way. So I'm excited about this new season, man. We're about 30 minutes behind where we're supposed to be because we started on CP time today. So we're gonna go into this, man. So we're gonna start going around the league here in the NFL. Talk about some of the hottest topics that's been going around the Shield. We're gonna call this segment Around the Shield, and we're gonna start with Mr. Brian Flores and Tua. How do you pronounce? This will sound simple. How do you pronounce that nigga? Like Tagovailoa. Tagovailoa. There we go. I mean, it's funny. I can pronounce Antetokounmpo, but I can't pronounce Tagovailoa. It's funny. But anyway, so we had the whole situation. Tua had this interview with Dan Le Batard. Shout out to the GOAT Dan Le Batard, one of my media inspirations. They had a real good interview with Tua. It was him, Stu Gatz, and Chris Cody. And he's kind of really just saw Tua open up for the first time and talking about everything he's learned over these last couple of years. And he went in. They asked him about Brian Flores. He said, imagine if you had a terrible person just telling you over and over again that you ain't nothing. How would you feel? And how much longer would it take you to bounce back from that when you have somebody else like Mike McDaniel pouring all that positive information into you? And he didn't just say that Brian Flores is a bad coach. He called this nigga a terrible person. And then we had what I would call one of the weirdest press conferences I've ever seen. And that was this press conference that this nigga Brian Flores had. As you can see, he brought his bodyguards with him. I should know. Let's think about the NFL. I don't know who these two niggas are. Well, I'm guessing one is offensive lineman, one is a defender, is a defender. But these two stood up there like that was their bodyguard. And all I took from this was that Brian Flores 100% said that shit. He went up there, was like, I'm wishing the best for Tua, and he didn't deny it. He just kind of felt like, yo, I did it. I'm gonna own up to it, and I respect that if he owned up to it. I respect he didn't go up there saying, I don't know what the nigga talking about. He has to walk very, very, very slowly because he doesn't want to get kicked out of the NFL again, even though he led a really good Vikings defense last year. But this whole presentation,
he still got that lawsuit going too.
he still got that lawsuit too. Stephen A. Stephen A. said that Dan Le Batard was in cahoots with the NFL, which led to Dan going into a whole 30-minute thing about what the hell does cahoots mean because of that lawsuit. Courtney, what do you think about just this whole thing with Tua and Brian Flores? How Tua said it in this weird press conference that Brian Flores had.
Yeah, I mean, it's some people thrive in those situations, right? Where someone basically tells them that they ain't shit, never gonna be shit, right? Like some people thrive off that kind of negativity. And listen, Tua has played for Nick Saban, but there is a huge difference because I think ultimately, Nick Saban obviously did have faith in him. If any of us can recall that 2017 national championship game where Tua came in for Jalen Hurts and then they won the Natty, I think that's really what it came. I think Brian Flores maybe just really didn't fuck with him like that. Maybe that's also his coaching style. We've heard, rumors about other players not necessarily jiving with Brian Flores. So, I mean, listen, Tua's clearly in a better situation now with Mike McDaniel. Good for him. Happy for him. But, it's just two different styles. And clearly they just didn't mesh well.
It definitely seems like they didn't mesh well at all. Bang, what you thinking about this? I know this picture right here just funny as hell to me. Like, I want to know, did PR set this up? Was it somebody in communications like, no, go up there? Or Brian Flores went like, I need you two niggas to go up there. What you think about this?
That is quite literally exactly how it works.
That's probably what happened. That's probably what happened.
That's probably what happened. But first, to go to the Brian Flores tour thing, defensive coordinators, defensive coaches mostly coach their players hard. You got to know your personnel and you got to know who you're coaching. So as much as I'm one of those people that like to get coached hard, I'd rather you tell me what I'm doing wrong rather than what I'm doing right because it's easy for me to fix. I'm one of those people that probably would have excelled in coaching with Brian Flores. Quarterbacks are not those type of people. Unless you're Tom Brady, quarterbacks is not one of those people that want you to tell them that they suck. So I blame this mostly on the Miami Dolphins for not knowing their personnel and not knowing what they need because the quarterback position is definitely the easiest one to lose your confidence if somebody is telling you and texting you that you suck. It's not going to motivate those people. Tom Brady is literally a last of a dime breed there. With that being said, that press conference was weird. That shit was weird as hell. You didn't even need those two players. You literally could have went up there and said, you know what? Things didn't work out, but I wish him the best. And, I wish him good luck on the rest of his career. That is literally it. They didn't need that extra shit. They didn't need the beard to the left or the right of them. So, yeah, I was just confused because he's been doing a great job with the Minnesota Vikings. He did a great job with the Minnesota Vikings last year. And even this year, he expects to have a lot of the load because you got Sam Darnold there as the quarterback. And J.J. McCarthy is injured, and this offensive side of the ball is new, so it's going to be a lot of work put on the Flores and the defense. So you didn't even need to do all of this shit, man. Just stay, hey man, what happened in Miami happened in Miami. I wish him well, and I maybe we see them in the Super Bowl. That's literally all he had to say. It was stupid.
Which every beat reporter should have laughed him out of the building if he thought that the Vikings were making the Super Bowl. No nigga gets more chances than Sam Darnold. Oh my God.
It's better than having a white man and a black man with their arm folded up. It's better than that shit.
Definitely better than that. It'd be even funny if he had an actual quarterback up there. Like if he had Sam Darnold up there and J.J. McCarthy and his crutches up there. Like, no, that nigga been nice to me. Dante, what you think about everything that's been going on with Tua Flores in this press conference?
I've been waiting a long time to say this, but niggas like this make niggas look bad. Like, when you throw the race card out there and you talking about, they fired me because I was black. No, they fired you because you was a trash ass coach, nigga. That's why they fired you. What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean this is racist? There was no racism involved. You're texting your starting quarterback talking about, nigga, don't blow this. Like, what the fuck? I would have fired you too. What are you talking about, nigga? Like, this was really disappointing for me because, naturally we try to back fellow black folks up and say, all right, bro, this wasn't right. You know, we barely got black coaches as it is. They didn't give you a fair shot. That's the first thing we jump to. No, that nigga was just trash. Like, you're a defensive coordinator, and that's what you're good at. Go do that. And so, I think it's crazy. I'm glad Tua found a coach, another black man who really holds him down.
Black King Mike McDaniel.
Black King Mike McDaniel, who looks like a fucking cocaine dealer, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm glad he found a coach who really, you know, was able to tap in with his talent and get the most out of him. But no, like, this is a joke. Like for you to all of the shit they said he was saying, if that's actually what happened, nah, bro, you're a clown. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why all he needed to say was just like, yo, what happened that happened, yeah, move on. Tua didn't have to call him a trash person, a terrible person. Like, he could have just moved on too. But considering where we are at with Tua, I'm glad that he said his shit and he got his shit off. But yeah, man, if somebody texts me, hey, don't suck this up, man, don't blow this, yo, I'm probably gonna do it on purpose. Or I'm probably just gonna cut you like, man, don't text me no shit like this. Fuck wrong with you? I'm trying to win a game and you doing this shit, man, I'll beat your ass. Yeah. Or since he's Samoan, man, I had to buy
let me call the Usos on y'all.
Yeah, man, I had a booyah trap come up there and beat your ass.
Boy, we would have had the whole bloodline in South Beach, nigga. It would have been a fucking problem.
Fuck is wrong with you texting me this shit? It's 4:00 in the morning. It's the first text I see, nigga. Nah.
Nigga, he'd have pulled up to Hard Rock Stadium. All you saw was them ones up. All you saw them ones up, nigga. Roman Reigns, all the Usos would have been in that joint. Boy, and that just kind of shows you what Tua. I don't want to say it's a bad. I can't say it's bad. He's a nice guy, but it shows he's a nice guy. Because anybody else, you ain't talking to me like that, nigga. I don't know what you thought this was. It'd have been a problem. But it's kind of like also what Orlando just said. If you think Tua stink, just wait till you see week 1. When you see Mr. Sam Darnold on four. You want to know anything about white privilege? Just look at Sam Darnold. That is the definition of white privilege right there. 100%, man. But let's go on to our next topic here in the NFL, going on in Denver, a place they've been looking for a quarterback since Peyton Manning, his noodle arm, retired in 2015. Was it 2015 or 2016 that Peyton retired? I think he retired after the Super Bowl, right? Or he come back one more year after that?
Who was that?
You know, it's sad. I don't remember. Like,
I think he did. I think he played one more year.
He played one more year? Okay, so 2016.
Yeah, because he was out there throwing ducks.
He was throwing ducks the year they won the Super Bowl. Brock Osweiler had a better year than he did the year they won the Super Bowl. Von Miller won that Super Bowl, and Danny Trevathan. Shout out to DT. But they have been looking for a starter since then. Russell Wilson, they traded for him. They thought he was going to be the savior. He wasn't. In the words of Stephen A., he didn't bring anything to Denver but Sierra. That's all he did there. And now you got a guy who's been playing college football for 10 years, Bo Nix. Bo Nix had a real good year last year at Oregon. They had a real high-flying offense out there. And now he got drafted by then. He had a really good preseason, really good camp from what we heard. And now he is going to be the week 1 starter for this team. My opinion on this, I don't have too much to say about this. They're like, he looked experienced. Well, nigga, I hope he do look experienced. The nigga been playing professional college football since like 2016. For the last 2 elections. So I will hope he does look experienced. But to me, it's about to be fraud alert on Sean Payton. This is now or never. He needs I feel like his legacy is on the line here. Because as somebody who's not a big Drew Brees guy, and I've always said he is the greatest stat patter in the history of NFL quarterbacks, I might have to shoot him some bail if Sean Payton can't get Bo Nix going after he just couldn't get Russell Wilson going. And this might look better for Drew Brees. It's the win-win situation for me because I don't like Drew Brees or Sean Payton. So either way, I come with some slander for this either way. But to me, everything's on the line here. I think for Sean Payton, not for Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix will be fine even if he has an average rookie season. But I think that this is a better answer for them. The other guy that I think was a Stidham that he was going up against.
Jarrett Stidham.
Yes, Jarrett Stidham. Like you don't want to see him starting. At least you have a promise, and then it gives Broncos fans something to watch. Courtney, you have anything to say? What's your feeling on Bo Nix specifically?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the The upside for Bo Nix is that he has the luxury of now playing for a team that's in the same division as the back-to-back Super Bowl champs. Like, if he sucks, who cares, right? Like, I mean, it's Denver, right? Like, you're not, there's not, I guess, a huge burden on him just because he is in the same division as Kansas City. And now you have Jim Harbaugh in, so the spotlight's kind of off of you to a degree. But if he overperforms, right, and he's better than we think, then, I mean, Sean Payton looks like a fucking genius, right? It's Denver's first rookie quarterback, I think, since Elway, which is wild.
Since 1983.
Yeah, which is wild to think about. But yeah, I mean, look at what he had to compete against. We know Jarrett Stidham is what he is, right? And they traded to get Zach Wilson. And again, we kind of know who he is as well. So, I mean, good for Bo Nix. I've seen him play for many years beyond Oregon. As a Bama fan, I got to see him play at Auburn. Good luck to the guy playing with house money in Denver. Good
playing
for
with house money for sure. Bang, I did not say this. He said Bo Nix graduated the same high school year. I tell you, I stopped making age jokes. Bang on body slam me. That was not me.
Orlando.
Bang, what do you think about Bo Nix? And do you think there's any pressure here on Sean Payton?
Yes, it is all the pressure on him. When you don't get me wrong, Russell is washed. He looks washed by the day. It looks like the decision to let him go was the best decision for this franchise. But now you're coming into this season with Bo Nix starting. Now, shouts out to my man Jay Hollins. My man Jay Hollins said that he feel like Bo Nix is the most prepared quarterback to start day one out of the draft. Bo Nix led the NCAA, I believe, in completion percentage, over 75%. He's been in a pro-style offense his whole career, all of that. With that being said, Sean Payton, you're supposed to be the QB whisper, all right? We need to know coming in that Bo Nix is the quarterback of the future for the Denver Broncos. The one thing that I will say is more about this quarterback class, and I know we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but man, if everything goes right with all of these quarterbacks, this looks to be the best quarterback class maybe since 1983 when John Elway was the number one pick in the draft. So we'll see, but hey, all the pressure's on Sean Payton for this to succeed.
Dante, I don't know if you are a big Sean Payton hater like myself, but what do you think about this situation here for the Broncos?
I do not like Sean Payton at all.
Yeah, there we go.
A lot of choice words for Sean Payton that I will not say right now for the sake of I just don't want to put that energy out there right now. But Bo Nix is an exciting 36-year-old rookie quarterback. I'm looking forward to finally seeing him play at the next level. Being down here in SEC country, I saw Bo Nix at Auburn. I saw Bo Nix when he went to Oregon. You know, I've seen Bo Nix every fucking place he's been. And, like, he's not that bad. It's just a matter of, you know, are we excited about a rookie that's probably going to be a game manager? Like, if you watched any of the Broncos preseason games, he's just checking shit down and like not fucking up. Like,
okay, hold on. No one gets mad at fucking check down master Brock Purdy, but it's a problem now that
tell me. No.
Relax.
Go check how many 20+ yard plays the 49ers have. I guarantee you. I guarantee you the Denver Nuggets. I said Denver Nuggets.
No Nuggets.
The Denver Broncos will not have that many plays.
Yeah.
Like, it's
also on top of that,
city, baby.
They're not comparing Bo Nix to the elite quarterbacks in the league. Like, it's like that. It's like that dragon meme. We see the two tough dragons and the non-tough dragon. That's what Brock Purdy is. We look at the rest of the quarterbacks.
I wish he had more weapons to play with this season than like Cortland Sutton and, you know, the rest of that receiver room. But like, I mean,
yeah,
I think there's a lot of upside here for Bo Nix.
That's my point.
Like, for him to be a better quarterback still than someone else who may have been drafted earlier than him in that draft. Obviously, I'm not talking about the number one pick. Obviously.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, Bo is not gonna fuck it up. Like, Bo's not gonna be bad. I don't think he's gonna be bad, but it's just how excited am I gonna sit here and get with a guy who's pretty much going to be a game manager. Like, I don't expect Bo to go out here and Sean Payton sit here and say, all right, hey, go win us this game. He's going to tell him, hey, Bo, don't fuck this up. So, like, I don't root against Bo Nix, but it's like, as far as being excited about Bo being a starter, okay.
Again,
We'll
the ceiling here is Drew Brees, and the floor is like Drew Lock.
Crazy.
That
is crazy.
The ceiling is Ryan Tannehill.
Wait a minute, you said the ceiling is Drew Brees.
The ceiling is not this season, but I'm saying for Bo Nix specifically, the ceiling here is Drew Brees, and like
or
the
Drew
floor
Lock.
is like Derek Carr, Drew Lock.
That's a big ass gap. Like
you have way more faith in Bo than I do, and I don't think he's gonna suck. But damn,
I like Bo Nix better than I like Drake May.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all. We gonna see what that one, man. But
okay,
let's move.
Just my 2 cents, gentlemen.
We respect your opinion on this show. He says ceiling is Drew Bledsoe. Now, actually, well, no, that's a good one. I actually like that. Ceiling is Drew Bledsoe. I like that one. I like that one. I like that one.
But not that's putting a lot on it, bro. Like
it's putting a lot on it, but I like that a lot more than Drew Brees.
I'm not gonna lie. At this point, anybody y'all say, I'm gonna say that's some bullshit. So I'm gonna just step aside.
The ceiling is Kyle Orton.
What Bo does.
The ceiling
Kyle
is Kyle
Orton.
Orton.
Okay, I can see that. Okay. Cal has some runs. Cal won 10 games twice. You know.
Brian Urlacher won 10 games. Brian Urlacher and Lance Riggs won 10 games.
What's Brock Osweiler doing these days?
Enjoying his Super Bowl ring that he won for
high school football coach.
Brock Osweiler.
He's doing what J.J. McCarthy's going to be doing in 5 years, being a high school football coach. Anyway, let's move on to the team in the city that Dante calls home. That is the Atlanta Falcons, man. They are having a big offseason. Of course, they gave Kirk Cousins way too much money early in the season. They traded for Michael Penix Jr., which didn't make any sense to me then, but I thank them for it because it helped the Bears get Rome Odunze. They went out there, they traded for Matthew Judon, and they signed Justice Simmons last week. But the thing I want to talk about is what exactly are they doing with Michael Penix Jr.? As you can see right here, they held him out of the final preseason game. And Kirk Cousins has not played all preseason as well. I think it's time for theory time or hot take time here. My hot take is this: that Kirk Cousins is not really ready to play. And they put Penix on the bench because that nigga's going to be starting week 1. Because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because if Kirk Cousins is ready to play, number one, I think he probably would have played in preseason. Number two, they wouldn't take away reps from Michael Penix Jr. When you said best case scenario, he's not playing for 3 to 4 years. That means he should get every preseason rep possible that he can play because he's not expecting to play. My thing to me is I don't think that the the Falcons are keeping the G with us. I think that maybe 100% Kirk Cousins isn't that yet. And I think there's a good chance that Michael Penix Jr. might actually be the starter. And the thing also to me, I see there's a lot of people, shout out our guys, Brian and Jared of, King's Landing. They got a new episode right now. I know a lot of people like the moves. Actually, I like the moves that the Falcons have made as well, but I think they're going to win NFC South. We already broke down NFC South earlier. But Super Bowl's a little nuts to me for 2 reasons. One, if my theory that Penix is the starter, I don't know if I will put all that on a rookie right there who's not a Caleb Williams. And then also number 2, if it is Kirk Cousins, a Tiger don't change his stripes, or what a Hov said, close don't change his game in the 9th inning. Like he is what he is. We saw how good those Vikings teams were on paper, and they couldn't get it done. That's why I think it's the same thing. I would probably pipe down on the Super Bowl talk, but I do think they're going to have a really, really good year. Dante, I'm going to go to you first because you are out there in Atlanta. You got the pulse of what's going on out there in the A. Do you believe in my conspiracy theory that Michael Penix Jr. is actually going to be the real starter? And if not, why are they holding this man out?
I don't think he'll be the starter week 1, but I think they are keeping him on ice because they are being extremely cautious about Kirk Cousins. I think the Atlanta Falcons are still snake bitten by the fact that when Matt Ryan left, there was no plan in place to replace him. And so, we've seen them be 7-9 for, I think the last 3 seasons, 7-9, 7-10, when we added the extra game. But they've been literally a mediocre team because of quarterback play. Like they had, it was more than 4 games last year where they lost by less than one score, and it was not a touchdown. It was like 3 points. They had a couple games they lost by 2 points, like silly shit. So I mean, it's to the point where with all of the weapons you have on offense, with Drake London, with Kyle Pitts, with adding Darnell Mooney, you have Bijan Robinson. It's just a matter of you need your quarterback to be healthy no matter who that is. And so I think with Michael Penix, they've liked what they've seen from him since the first day of camp, like since mini camp. They've been raving about Michael Penix. So I think with Raheem Morris, he knows that he has a valid number 2 in his young quarterback. And now it's more of a focus on, well, let's get Kirk to week 1. And so with Kirk, I mean, he's been talking and he's been practicing and he's been saying all the right things. So only the people inside that building know how his Achilles is truly feeling. And so he's always been adamant about that. He's fine moving in the pocket. It's just when he starts to move east to west and trying to, evade people, that's where, he has his struggle. So him not playing in the preseason does bother me. It does concern me. I'm not gonna lie. I know they trying to play it off like it's nothing. It does concern me, but I still would think right now Kirk is the week 1 starter, and Michael Penix is just he is the backup plan that we're all sitting here saying it's a 3 to 4 year plan, but the reality is he may be in there this year.
Which is, I don't understand what they're doing over there in Atlanta, but it's not my problem. Courtney, I know you're not a big fan of conspiracy theories, but does mine have any merit here?
No, I mean, I don't necessarily think it's a conspiracy theory. On the other side of the coin, my thing is, why would you want? I mean, Michael Penix looked pretty good. He only played like what 20-ish snaps. He looked pretty good. Why would you want to stoke the fire of what people have been saying since he was drafted of a potential quarterback controversy? Like, why would you want to start that conversation anyway? Even if Kirk Cousins was healthier, I wouldn't want to add, smoke to that fire. So no, I don't. First off, I hate Atlanta, so I would love to see the drama. Who's their QB3? Is it still Taylor Heineke?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to make sure that both of them stay healthy for that reason. So yeah, I don't think there's a huge deal though that they're not starting him for this next game though.
Yeah, I just feel like if he's not starting anytime soon, I'm with you. Get more reps. Like, that's the crazy part to me. Unless there's something else behind it. Bang, what you think about this 2 quarterback situation in there?
I think something might be wrong with Michael Penix. He might be the one that's hurt because there's no reason for him not to play in this preseason. He should get all of the reps. That's what was confusing to me. What's confusing to me is why he's not playing. He has to be hurt or they want to protect him or whatever. But Kirk Cousins is going to lead this team to wherever he's going to start for the full season unless that Achilles is something wrong with that Achilles heel, and considering that Michael Penix didn't take all of the reps, he got to be good. So I think it might be something wrong with Michael Penix, not necessarily Kirk Cousins.
Penix does have a history of knee injuries.
That man got a history of knee injuries, shoulder injuries, collarbone injuries. He's 45 years old. Yeah.
He was at the March on Washington with Dr. King.
Already. Justice for my mans.
Yeah, he was up there with Dr. King when he was on the March on Washington. This nigga was there when Malcolm X got shot. The nigga's old, Yana. But yeah, that would be interesting if he was hurt. That would definitely be interesting. Final topic before we get into our inside the AFC South, then we're gonna wrap it up with Goofy Mog of the week, and we're gonna get up out here for the week. We've got 2 more weeks. We'll just be 1 episode. Then starting on September 9th, we'll be back to our 2 episode a week thing. Let's talk about my man, the GOAT himself, Mr. Tom Brady. He's been doing a little bit of the rounds out here in the media. You know, of course, he's going to be one of the top guys on the NFL on Fox crew this year. This nigga's then started a YouTube page. He's got some real good vlogs on there. And he and the rest of the sports and entertainment world were in New York City last weekend for Michael Rubin's Fanatic Fest, the first ever Fanatics Fest. And he sat down with Stephen A. Smith for a live Stephen A. Smith show. And he said these things about the future of the current era of quarterbacks. He said, I think it's just a tragedy that we're forcing these rookies to play early. But the reality is the only reason why I'm fucking up. But the only reality is the reason why we are is because we've dumbed the game down, which has allowed them to play. Now, as a fellow get off my lawn ass nigga myself, I have no problem with telling the youth, you need to get your shit together. Back in my day, we was tougher. But I also feel like he's right and he's wrong at the same time. And I say that because I say he's right in one fact where I do feel like the game is getting dumbed down a little bit. And he said that, you know, with the quality of quarterback, I do feel like that the thing that this era is missing is, you know, we don't have a lot of great quarterbacks anymore. You know what I'm saying? Not that they ever really were too many, but you know, I feel like we don't have like the mid-tier guys who can still make like a big playoff run. You know what I'm saying? Like the Phillip Rivers who could get you to an AFC championship game. You know, Dak Prescott's, the Kirk Cousins, you know, the guys who in that middle range, you know, they haven't been able to even win playoff games. I see what he's saying as far as like it's being dumbed down, but I also disagree with the fact when he was saying that, you know, he feels like rookies are being rushed. I see where he's coming from, but at the same time, I disagree because jobs on the line. These rookies have to really be good right away, especially because they've been playing a pro style of game. College is way different than it was in Tom Brady's day. It's just full on air raid era, not just in National Football League, but in NCAA in college football. Back in the day, in Brady's day, they were handing the ball off 30 times. So it's a different era. I do feel like these quarterbacks are a lot more seasoned than the typical rookie quarterback who came in during Tom Brady, Peyton Manning's time. I mean, we just made the jokes about Michael Penix Jr. and Bo Nix, who had all these starts already. Caleb Williams has over 50 starts in his belt. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. You know, these guys have already been prepared. So I see where he's coming from, but I also think he suffers from the thing that a lot of great players suffers from is why can't these niggas be as good as me? And I think that's the big thing that I take from that as well. But I do love Media Brady already. I was very, very hesitant about it, but I like what I've seen. I think there's one of those occasions where two things can be right at the same time. I'm going to go to our other media guy here, our guy Bang Wamsgans. Bang, what do you feel about what Tom Brady said? Do you think he's right or wrong here?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head for me. It's not even a lot to piggyback on. I think he's right, but he's wrong at the same time. And part of it is because ain't nobody going to be as great as me. Ain't nobody going to be as great as Tom Brady. But I also think you're right. That second or third tier, I say more than anything, like third tier quarterback, we ain't got it. We said it during the live show. Like, where's the Jay Fiedlers at? You know, where are the Chad Penningtons at?
Where the David Garage at, nigga?
Yeah, where's the Mark Brunells?
Yeah.
Like, where those people at? You know, where are the what's my man name?
Where the John Kidners?
Yeah, the John Kidners, the Brad Johnsons. What's my man name?
Rich Gannon.
What's my man name? They used to play for Buffalo. They replaced him with Doug Flutie. Like, where's them at?
Oh, Frank Reich.
Nah, but you can name Frank Reich in this too. Like, where's the Jeff Hostetler's at? We don't have.
That's a good one.
I mean, Tom Brady's not the first quarterback to say this, though. Kurt Warner has talked about this before. Even Troy Aikman has talked about
Hall of
that.
Famers.
You know, it's something that. And listen, Tom Brady's also, like you said, different because he's the GOAT, right? Like, of course, you're going to compare everyone to yourself when you're at the top. But like, we're in a weird time right now, especially with coaching, because the relationship between quarterback and coach is so right now especially is so key. And then you see these offensive coordinators linking up with these quarterbacks and doing so well. And then what happens to that offensive coordinator? Of course, he doesn't want to be an OC forever. So he wants to go get himself the next job. And then what happens? How much control do these guys have over the play calling in college? None, right? They're constantly looking over to the sideline, trying to figure out what to do. And then they're thrust in these situations in the NFL where they're kind of forced to, in Tom Brady's words, be a field general. And you can't do that if you aren't developed. It's true. He's not wrong. Not wrong.
And, as my guy Retro Rob just commented on the Instagram, what a Ryan pick set. What a Fitz Magic set, you know what I'm saying? What a Josh McCown's. Dante, what you think about what the GOAT said, man?
Jeff Blakes.
I get sick and tired. I get sick and tired of these old niggas retiring and then complaining about the game, bro. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, for real. Like, I hate it. And I love Tom Brady. This is my favorite quarterback, favorite football player. But, bro, I hate when these old niggas leave and they want to bitch about the game. It's like, all right, bro, we don't care. Like, we don't care. We'll still have 13 million people watching fucking Cincinnati and Tennessee on Thursday night. Like, you can shut that shit up. Like, we don't care what you have to say at all. Like, I get sick of it, bro. Like, everybody, it seems like all of the greatest players want to lead the game and then complain about the game. That was one thing that was so great about Kobe, is that he would come back and talk to younger players and, you know, actually invite them out to his camps and work with them and train them and not just sit there and shit on them. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for Tom to be doing this as he prepares to go into the booth, I hope you don't get into the booth and start bitching for 4 quarters, because I'm gonna just watch the game on mute. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm a person where I don't need the analyst to watch a football game. So, like, if this is the type of energy he's coming with, I'm gonna just watch the game on mute, and I'm gonna wait for Greg Olsen to get back on my TV.
I'll say one. Speaking of Kobe Bryant, happy heavenly birthday to my man Kobe. He's been 46 today. But number 2, do you think that Brady will be a hater? I'm kind of here for hater Brady. Like, for my entertainment purpose.
No, 100%.
I'm kind of here for this nigga sorry. Like, he low key called Daniel Jones sorry on at the Fanatics Fest. He's like, there's a bad quarterback. Let's just say Daniel Jones. He's like, oh, I didn't mean that. He's already got the media. Like, I would love for Tom Brady. But you know what? Let me tell you why this nigga Bo Nix is sorry.
Oh yeah, don't think he's gonna come in here and be like year 1 Tony Romo, where he's just breaking down plays. He's gonna be like, well, if that was me, I would have checked it over here to this guy. Like, I'm really
what it's gonna be like?
This at all.
It's gonna be like what Peyton Manning be on the Manicast. Like, Peyton 100%. Can't understand why these niggas can't throw like him. Like, it blows his mind that they can't throw like him. And Eli be like, oh, nigga, I threw a pass like that before, but I got away with it. But I think it's gonna be kind of like with Peyton. Like, Peyton, you want to call these niggas sorry every week, but Peyton is so media trained. But when he sees a bad play and he doing this, like, I think you're gonna have Brady gonna be up there like the player haters ball. He gonna be like Silky Johnson. He gonna be talking about, let me tell you why Sam Darnold stinks, nigga. I'm here for hater Brady. Man, you got something I didn't know if I was gonna. You got something?
No. My wife was on bullshit.
But yeah, I'm here for hater Brady, man. But let's move on to our final topic, man.
Rob Johnson, Orlando. Yeah, Rob Johnson. Yes.
I thought that said Ron Johnson for a minute. I was like, nigga, not different world. But Rob Johnson, that's going. Brad Johnson, that's another one. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I know y'all niggas old. Who the fuck is Rob Johnson?
Nigga, we the same age.
Who is Rob Johnson? Like, what?
Didn't Rob Johnson play
for?
He played for Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo. That's what it was.
He played for Buffalo. They had him starting for Buffalo, and then in the playoffs, like the first game of the play, he started the whole season. And the first game of the playoffs, they benched his ass for Flutie.
Orlando, Aaron Brooks.
Yeah. Orlando is quietly 42 himself while he be talking shit about Bang.
Because I totally forgot about Rob Johnson.
Orlando, remember when Kuliak came out?
Yeah, goddammit.
I'm still in my 20s, so I can't relate to any of this.
Yeah. You're the young buck here. Enjoy your youth while you have it. We've got after this week, I think we got one more inside the division. We got the AFC West left, I think, the last one. So we're here to break down the AFC South. He said, I'm 38, relax. Nigga, that's still old. That's still old, nigga. You were able to vote when George W. Bush was going for president. Get out of here.
That's
man,
crazy.
you on mute, bro. We can't even hear you, dog.
My bad, but Orlando, if you 38 and you've been trying to come at me about my age this whole entire time, nigga, 38 and you Hispanic, nigga, you the same age as me. All right. If you a 38 year Hispanic man, you the same age as me, nigga.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Nigga, you are the same.
Like, nigga, you are 40.
You are 40. You are 40, nigga. You've been practicing for 5 years.
Last topic of the day, inside the AFC South, man. We're going to break it down here. Next week, we're going to break down the AFC West. But let's start off with the team who won the AFC South. The Cinderella team last year, I guess you want to call it, the Houston Texans, led by this boy right here, C.J. Stroud, who had an amazing rookie campaign. He played much better as a rookie in Houston than he did when he was I was about to say USC. I don't want my brother cuss me out, at the Ohio State. They went 10-7 last year, won the division championship, beat Joe Flacco and the Browns in the wild card round, and lost in a close game in the division round to Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. For me, there's a lot of pressure now on not just the Houston Texans, but more specifically C.J. Stroud, year 2 D'Amico Ryans. You know, they've got a better roster this year. They went out there and got Joe Mixon. They went out there and got Danielle Hunter. They went out there and traded for Stephon Diggs. It's a much better team this year on paper, and a lot of people are going to be expecting them to make an even bigger leap. You made it to the divisional round. So now you're expected to make it to the AFC Championship game. And one thing I always say about quarterback development is that unless you're the alien who is Patrick Mahomes, you don't really like when you saw Pat's, you know, it was the second year, his rookie year, you knew that nigga was the one. Like there's some stuff like that, it's a unicorn that you just know. But most quarterbacks, you got to see how they are in year 3 and year 4. Some have a sophomore slump. Even with, I won't call Pat Mahomes' year a second slump, obviously, but he went from 50 touchdowns to 26. So how is it going to be when you've had a whole offseason of defensive coordinators game planning for you? So there's a lot of pressure for them. And I think this is going to be, it was a competitive division last year. I think it's going to be even more competitive. I think it's going to be a 3-team race to win this division. But I think they're going to be at the end battle tested. I think that they're probably going to win around the same amount of games this year. But I think this is going to be a year where they'll have some up and downs. But I think C.J. Stroud is legit. And I think this is a really good team. So I don't see that much change. And I think they will rise to the pressure of being a favorite here. Bang, what do you think about C.J. Stroud and the outlook for this Texans team?
Hey, man, you got a first place schedule. I see some regression. All right. Don't get me wrong. They improved with getting Stephon Diggs there. They improved on defense with Danielle Hunter. And you seem to be poised, but now they got a first place schedule. And that division is not as easy as people put it out to be. So I think we're going to see them regress. I'm not saying that they're not going to win the division, but we're going to see some regression on this team.
Courtney, are you a Bang saying there's going to be some regression with this team, or do you think they'll be able to take the things they did last year and just improve on them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with Bang. They were 7-3 in one touchdown games last season, 1-score games last season. So, I mean, you can't imagine that they're going to have this same luck. That's almost kind of statistically impossible, right? But I don't know, man. They made some solid moves. I know they have some. I mean, listen, they can't, knock on wood, they can't get any more injured than their offensive line was last season, right? That's going to be a big thing for me. And then what's old dude's name that's suspended for PEDs on defense? I can't think of his name. That's kind of going to be a big loss for them for the first few games. But they made some decent signings this season, not just offensively, but defensively as well. I mean, listen, there's still a lot of question marks in the rest of that division. So I'm still very high up on the Texans. I don't know how much of a regression it'll be. I still think that they'll win the division. That's just me.
Dante, what you see this year going for the Texans? Of course, we'll give our actual record predictions in our season preview episode.
I don't see much of a regression. I think this is going to be a very good football team throughout the season. I think the Joe Mixon signing is kind of going under the radar. People don't mention that a lot, but I think that's going to help them out and help them to be more balanced on offense. And so I think they're going to have a team who, once again, like I said, I think I also picked them to win the AFC South. I think the Titans are my sleeper team in the South, but I think right now the Texans are still the best team in this division, and I think CJ will, as long as CJ continues to improve, and they have the structure around him for that to happen. So I don't see there's a reason why there should be a big regression from Houston. So I still think they'll be the best team in the division.
My only thing is they have a much tougher schedule this season. They have like the 6th or 7th toughest schedule in the league and like 6 primetime games. I'm pretty sure every game they had last season, quote me if I'm wrong, please, or correct me if I'm wrong, was at like 1 p.m. So I'm curious to see how I'm curious to see how they adjust to those. I mean, the lights are going to be a little bit brighter. So
I think they had a Thursday night game, but them not really big lights. Those are medium lights right there. But I agree with you on that. It's the number one play schedule, so it's gonna be a little different to see how that'll be, man. Let's go to the team that finished second in the division, the team that actually blew the division. They were the favorites last year. That is the Jacksonville Jaguars. This will be the first year for Trickoff Trev and his big time contract. A lot of pressure on this guy here who was touted as a generational talent coming out the draft 3 years ago. We might be looking at that 2021 draft as these niggas are all mid. So it's a lot of pressure on him. Year 3 for Doug Peterson. We know they made the playoffs 2 years ago. And having that, that big time performance where Troy, he threw 4 interceptions, but also threw 4 touchdowns as well. I think there's a lot of pressure on them here. I think that if they don't make the playoffs, I think that Doug Peterson is up out of there. You just paid your quarterback. You just added different things to the team. I think that's something that if they don't get it done, I think this job is going to be taken care of. And y'all know I'm not a big Trevor Lawrence fan at all. I'm really not. I think he's overrated. I think they give him a lot of love because he's a white boy. Let's just keep it all the way real. He's not going to get the love. He's not going to get the chances that a black quarterback would be. I think there's talent there, but if he don't do it this year, I don't think he ever will. It'll just be a situation where maybe he's just an okay quarterback. Courtney, I'm going to go back to you. What do you think about Trevor Lawrence, the pressure that's on them, and can they actually bounce back from a year they had last year where they should have won a division they did?
Yeah, so I'm looking at their depth chart right now. I mean, I can clearly see that they made some improvements. They got Anton Harrison and Mitch Morse now, so they definitely made some improvements on their offensive line. I'm still not too sold on Brian Thomas. I know it's the LSU bug, but he also, keep in mind, he had Malik Neighbors at the same time on that team who took a lot of those catches. So I'm still not on the Brian Thomas Jr. train. They signed Big Game Gabe. Fingers crossed Christian Kirk steps up. But I'm looking at the other 2 teams in that division that we haven't talked about yet. And I can't help feeling like Dante said, the Titans are kind of my sleeper team. I really don't know how I feel about the Jags. I'm not sold on Trevor Lawrence. I'm not. I need to see it this season over a consistent period of games. I need 4 or 5 games to fully, in my opinion, start to believe.
That's fair. Bang, we'll go to you. You're the man who gave him the nickname Trickoff Trev. Tell me what you think the vibe will be for this Jaguar team.
I think this would be a bit of a back a bounce back season for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trickoff Trev is Trickoff Trev, but I think he'll have a better season than he did last year. The Brian Thomas thing, like they say, he's been killing cats in camp. So that's interesting right there. And then, but Zay Jones just got suspended for I think like half of this, like the first 6 games of the season.
Zay Jones is now with the Cardinals, so
I forgot about that. You're right. My bad. Damn.
No. Listen, we're all helping each other out because Mikey Schefter, shout out to Mikey, had to
Shout
let
out
me
to
know
Mikey.
that Justin Simmons had already been signed with Atlanta. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, why didn't the Colts try to pick up Justin Simmons?
Anyway. No, I just feel bad because I totally forgot about that. And normally I'd be on that. So damn, you're right.
Big game Gabe now.
Yeah, players fuck up. But I do think that they'll be straight. Either way it go, I think they'll be straight. I think Trickoff Trent is gonna have a bounce back season. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars will too. Hell, I got them beating the Bears in London, so
Okay. I hope the fuck not. If I go a 10-hour flight, I better not see them niggas lose. I know that damn much. Dante, Dante, you already talked on the right. I'm losing, man. End of the day, did you?
No,
talk?
I didn't, but I'll be quick. I don't expect much from these guys. I think they're gonna regress. I think this is the team of any team that we mentioned is gonna have the regression, and it's partially mainly due to what they've put around Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I think losing Calvin Ridley is going to be a big loss, and they're going to feel that. So I think this is definitely a team that I could see. We'll get into our predictions. We'll be getting to them, but this is not going to be the team that everybody expected, and the success that everybody expected for Trevor Lawrence. It's not. It's not going to happen at least this year. It's not.
Yeah, it would be very hilarious if that happens where they, don't do anything. I really want to see them actually criticize him, like give him some of that as well. Let's go to a team that finished third in the AFC South last year. It is the Indianapolis Colts. They went 9-8, missed the playoffs. Anthony Richardson, I think he got injured like in game 4, I think it was, after having a real hot start to the season. He's had a so-so preseason. Even to the fact he had Bengals players saying things like, that nigga can't throw the ball. All he do is run. He threw some questionable interceptions in the last game. And they just had, by the way, the Bengals did not say that about my starting quarterback when he was lighting their ass up in joint practices, but that's neither here nor there. That's what they said about him. Anthony Richardson, they've got a real good defense coming back. You got Zaire Franklin, who just made the NFL top 100. Got Jonathan Taylor back. I think this team, and Shot Retro Robbie says on Instagram, Anthony Richardson gonna be nice bearing injury. This is my thing about Anthony Richardson. I know this is not gonna help my I don't like black quarterbacks agenda. Obviously, I'm very aware of that. I think he is very athletic. I don't know if he's the best passer of the ball. Like I said, it's not helping. It's not helping what the wrongful accusations that get thrown on me. When I was at the draft, he got drafted in Kansas City. My brother actually said out loud, "This guy stinks." When he got drafted, which I did not do. I think that he had some exciting plays beginning of last year, and maybe he will be really, really good. This would be a very, very big test for him. I'm not going to lose my mind over interceptions that he threw in training camp. I do think the things the Bengals defense said about him is kind of interesting because kind of things that the Colts defense said about Justin Fields last year in training camp that we didn't want to hear in the joint practices, but that's what he said. I think this team is probably going to be around the same they were last year. I think that they could sneak in, a chance to win the division. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs because the AFC is so stacked that if you don't win a division, you're not going to make the playoffs. Because I think the AFC North is going to have 3 playoff teams. But I think they're going to be a team that if you're a team like the Texans or the Jaguars, even any other AFC team, that's not a team you want to play. I think they're going to be a tough out. I actually think that this is not an easy game for the Bears when they have to play them week 3. So I think that, if Anthony Richardson is actually a really, really good quarterback, that opens things up for them. But I don't have too much faith. I think they'll be an annoying team. They probably going to win the same amount of games that they won last year. But it all just really just relies on how healthy Anthony Richardson is. And when he's healthy, how good can he be as well. I'm going to go back to Dante. What do you think about Anthony Richardson in this version of the Colts?
I think that nigga stinks. I'm not gonna
see when I say this
about it. Like, no, because I don't do this all the time. Like, you're pretty consistent with this. But no, I don't think Anthony Richardson is good at all. Like at all. Like even going back to his pro day, this man is throwing passes that are hitting the actual fucking ceiling. Like I don't get it. Like I just really don't. Like I understand we talk about the measurables, and this is kind of what they did with Josh Allen, and they tried to force this upon us. But I don't think Anthony Richardson is that good. I'm gonna just be honest with you. And that's the Colts may win some games in spite of him because they do have a talented roster and they've been able to get some talent on that team. But no, him, hell no. So I think the Colts are a team that they'll be in games, but if you expect Anthony Richardson to win you some games, no, that's not gonna happen.
Bang, what you think about Anthony Richardson in this Colts squad?
The only reason why I'm not going to call them complete ass is because they have a good offensive coaching staff. They have Michael Pittman Jr. They have Jonathan Taylor. They have a pretty decent offensive line. So
That's
this is
Josh Downs erasure. That's crazy.
You say what?
I said that's Josh Downs erasure. That's crazy.
I mean, I'm not really a fan of him like that.
Bang said, "Fuck Josh Downs."
Yeah, I'm not like I like Pittman Jr. Josh Downs is all right.
They said the chemistry between the streets were saying that the chemistry between Anthony Richardson and Josh Downs was looking pretty nice. That's the only reason why I say that.
That's cool, but I do think that Anthony Richardson
Fields had good chemistry with Darnell Mooney as well.
Yeah, so I think he's still going to be ass. So I just think that he has. I just think that he has some pretty decent pieces around him that's going to be able to mask that. But I do think that they're a pretty decent team that's going to be consistent because they have a good coaching staff and everything. So I'm not bullish on them, but I don't think they're going to be completely huff either. So middle of the road team. Congratulations, Indy.
They gonna be not huff but huff. That's
yep.
what it be. That's
not
what it be. Not huff, but they'll be huff. Courtney, take us home on this division. What do you think about the Colts?
I mean, yeah, I'm going to agree with you guys that I am concerned about Anthony Richardson's ability to throw the ball. But I do think they have a really great defense. They also are tied for the 21st toughest schedule with the Titans, mind you.
Yep.
So I do think that it's possible that they could fuck around and keep themselves in there. It also helps that Anthony Richardson does have Joe Flacco now in his ear, maybe to help guide him. I
forgot Flacco was there.
Yeah, Joe Flacco is their QB too. So listen, I'm not saying that the Colts are going to do anything special this season. All I'm saying is that I think this division kind of reminds me a little bit of it's. There's going to be a lot of teams that are within one game of each other. Again, it's going to be close. It's going to be a close race.
I think it'd be a close race, but unless Anthony Richardson actually knows how to throw the ball well.
This is gonna be that one division that literally at the last game of the season you're gonna see who's going to win the division and who ain't going nowhere.
It gives AFC North vibes for sure. Like all the teams are kind of going to be within 1 or 2 games of each other, and somebody's just going to get shafted because they're all going to be within 1 or 2 games of each other.
Yep. Let's go to the final team, which is the Chicago Bears Week 1 opponent. That is the Tennessee Titans, led by Will Levis. They've got a new head coach. That is Brian Callahan. He was the offensive coordinator in Cincinnati the last 4 seasons. They got DeAndre Hopkins back. He's allegedly healthy. They signed Calvin Ridley after he has been able to get back into the league. Last year they were 6-11, missed the playoffs. I don't think things are going to be that much different at all, and that's because of this man wearing number 8 right here, Mr. Will Levis. He had a nice couple moments, most specifically the moment he had against Miami, where really I wouldn't even Will Levis. That was just Miami tripping over their own feet, losing that game, which they had no business losing. I think everything in the NFL now comes down to one question. Is your quarterback good? I think this defense is decent. They're missing Derrick Henry, which is a big hole in their mainly run offense. This is going to be a hole. I think that the defense will be good, but the reason why I think this team isn't going to be good, and I think they're actually going to lose more than they did last year, is because I don't trust the quarterback situation. I think the defense is going to be able to keep this team in games, but Will Levis ain't outscoring nobody. You don't have that option of Derrick Henry to run the football. And it don't matter if you got DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley if you ain't got nobody to throw to them. So I'm not really expecting anything from this team. I think they're actually going to be huff, which I know Bang is laughing because I kept saying that Tennessee Titans aren't going to be a game that I go over, and that's because in typical Bears fashion, sometimes you have those close games where the defense has been really, really well, and you got like a fluke drive by Will Levis. But overall, I think if they get smacked up week 1 by the Bears, it's going to be a rough year for them. Courtney, I'm going to go back to you. What do you think? I know you said the Titans are your sleeper team. What is that?
Yeah, listen, say what you want about Will Levis. I'm higher on Will Levis than I am on Trevor Lawrence right now. And I say that because I think he has better weapons around. I think he has better weapons around him. honestly. Now you don't have to just worry about throwing to DeAndre Hopkins. You got Calvin Ridley. You have Tony Pollard. You have Tyjae Spears, which, again, I like to think of football to a degree through the lens of fantasy football. Tyjae Spears is one of the most underrated running backs in football right now. So I'm still high on the Titans. I think that there's potential that they finish higher than the Colts. I know we're not getting into projections or anything like that yet, but I'm kind of in on the Tennessee Titans.
Dante, are you in with the Tennessee Titans or no?
I too am in on the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, okay.
They spent $400 million this offseason. They clearly think that this team has potential to win right now.
I think this is going to be a really good team. I think their secondary is kind of underrated. They can have a potential to be really good.
They did get L'Jarius Sneed. I forgot about this shit.
Correct.
They got Sneed, and I just think overall, offensively, they're gonna put up points. It's just a matter of, can Will Levis not turn the ball over? As long as he's not out there just slinging the ball around, giving it to the other team, I think they're gonna be okay. I think he's gonna run into trouble week 1 against the Bears, and that's just not being biased. I think the Bears defense is gonna be really good this season, so that's gonna be a trouble struggle for him. And their schedule is kind of tough. I was actually just talking to the homie from Memphis at work today, and we were going through their schedule. So, but even with that said, I think this team is going to surprise some people, and they are going to be pretty good this season.
My guy Retro Rob on Instagram said that Levis is a fraud. They got sorry ass Tony Pollard. I forgot they got Tony Pollard. Yeah, I'm not buying
the
Tony
Tennessee
Pollard.
kid goes back home. The story sells itself, guys.
Yeah, the story is good, but he's not good. Going from Derrick Henry to Tony Pollard is like going from
Pollard was still coming off a pretty bad leg injury. Like, that was freaking brutal. Maybe he lost his confidence a little bit, a la Michael Gallup. I'm just saying.
Michael Gallup, another sorry nigga. Like, this is the thing. Like I said, going from Derrick Henry to Tony Pollard is like going from a Maybach to a Ford Focus. God bless.
Crazy.
Joseph in the chat says, I'd rather have Levis than Bryce Young. That's how low people on Bryce Young. We talk about, we spent a very small time on the NFC South. There's a lot of pressure on Bryce Young. not just because of Caleb, but also you got CJ going over there. I would not want to be that skinny nigga right now, but I am not that down on Bryce Young. I'd rather have Will Levis over him. Bang, what you think? Are you low on them like me, or are you high on the Titans as well?
Ass. Stop. Will Levis is, matter of fact, we talked all that shit about like those quarterbacks in that third tier. Will Levis, you're a part of that group. You are a part of that legendary group that features like Jay Fiedler, and what's my man name? David Klinger.
Also, isn't it his second year in the league? Can't we extend? See, this is what I'm talking about.
No, the fuck we can't. That nigga's gonna be ass.
But I'm just saying, but this is exactly what we're talking about. And Tom Brady, I'm with you. We don't allow people any grace to get better. He has significantly more weapons this season. And he has a new coach who is very, very much shotgun friendly. So
and Brian Callahan.
I'd be shotgun friendly too if I had Joe Burrow for 4 years.
Yeah, and Brian Callahan offenses be mid. All right, without a top flight quarterback, his shits be mid. All right,
without Slim Shady, it's mid.
I believe in Will Levis. He is very.
I don't believe in Brian Callahan.
Courtney like that. He's good to me.
Exactly.
Hey, look, I have no faith in this team right here. I think this team is going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. Don't get me wrong. I like Snead, but I don't like that team. All right, and we could talk all that stuff about him, but I don't like that whole team makeup. Brian Callahan, this is his first season as a head coach, finally. So there's going to be some growing pains there too. You're going to be going up against experienced head coaches in your division. All right, so they know that shit. All right, they're going to be the one team that ain't close. So no. I think this team is going to be ass with a capital ass, and Will Levis will end up being replaced by somebody else on that for the quarterback position for the Tennessee Titans.
Well, keep in mind, Brian Callahan did bring on his father to his staff. So he does have a very experienced guy in Bill Callahan in his ear. So that doesn't hurt.
Yeah, the offensive line I ain't going to have no problems with. Is everything else.
I believe. I
mean, look, I don't care what his daddy did. It's 2024. Like, I don't care what that nigga did. Look,
I'm
man.
not a Titans fan. I'm just
saying. Look, I think
we're gonna revisit this in a few months.
I think if the Bears make light work of them niggas, especially with them talking about who was the defender who said, "Oh, I'm gonna get at Caleb with them nails." Who's the nigga who said that? It's one of the defensive tackles. I don't remember.
It's one of the defensive tackles. He said he ready to play the dude with the fingernails. Whatever.
Okay.
Someone from the Titans.
Yeah, we'll circle that. We'll come back to that comment September 9th. But we're gonna wrap this up with the Goofy Mog of the week. Like I said, I'm not gonna be doing Goofy Mog of the week every week. It really just depends on if anybody does anything goofy, because I don't want to just be throwing this out if it's not warranted. But this week it is 100% warranted to Mr. Dennis Schroeder. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I don't know what team this nigga's on right now. I know he played for Germany. That is his home squad. And he said this in a press conference during the Olympics. He said, and I quote, "I think European basketball is no entertainment. It's straight IQ basketball, straight coaching, and really, really high IQ guys who know how to play the game." Right after those comments, Germany shortly got eliminated. And America, like we do, won the whole thing, won another gold medal. And our hero, Mr. Kevin Durant himself, put up this tweet where he put up a picture of the team who LeBron called them the Avengers. He just put entertainment and IQ, which is what I love from Kevin Durant being petty there. And then we had a quote from Mr. Dennis Schroeder once again. This one says, "And then they won," and Kevin Durant tweets, "High IQ and entertainment. For me, that's just being weak." You have to say something to a person like me who was not even meant to be negative. It's just I was seeing this from both styles. I'm going to move this picture, and I'm going to give the solo right here. Get the fuck out of here. Do not throw shots and then hold your hand when a nigga calls you out on it. Tell me I wasn't trying to be spicy. You was trying to be spicy. You was in the Olympics and you was feeling yourself. So you go out there and you try to be, the America's not that, it's entertainment and IQ. That's what real German basketball is about. You're trying to get in your Noah Lyles bag. We forget that you couldn't even stay on some of these American teams because you're an idiot and you didn't know to take which contract to take. You had to take the vet minimum because you turned down a bigger contract like an idiot. So, yeah, if I'm Kevin Durant, who's a much better basketball player than you, take away entertainment and IQ, you can't touch that nigga's kneecap. I would be upset I would be talking to you as well, putting this up. That is the perfect moment to do that. Kevin Durant is somebody who is going to pay attention to the Twitter shots. That's just what he does. I love this tweet. I thought it was perfect. And, you can't get in your feelings when somebody calls you out on something stupid that you said. Maybe next time you keep your mouth shut and wait till you actually win the whole thing. Who actually thought Germany was going to win a basketball tournament? That, man. So I'm giving my first Goofy Mog of this season to Mr. Dennis Schroeder. And that's how we're going to wrap up this edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. We weren't on here last week because we were shooting the I'm Not Gonna Hold You Bears preview special, which will be dropping very, very soon. The actual trailer is gonna drop in full on Monday. But for those of you who missed earlier, because there's a lot more people in the chat, we're gonna play this trailer one more time for y'all before we wrap up. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Scott Lewis, host of I'm Not Gonna Hold You, and welcome to the Chicago Bears season preview special, man. It's me, Flows, J.R.Bang, Mikey, holding it down from the Pillar Store. Caleb Williams,
4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns.
Okay, we gonna get there. We're gonna break everything down for y'all. As you can see, they let me here in Hallis Hall, so we're gonna be interviewing some players. Here with DJ Moore. DJ, how you feeling after this big game today?
We all got a great connection from the line out to the receivers to the backs, and Caleb, of course.
We're with Daniel Harden from the Chicago Bears right now. Are you Team Kendrick or Team Drake? Which one are you? Okay, you on the right side, brother. We're going to be interviewing some of the Chicago media, get their thoughts on this upcoming season. Right now, I'm joined by the one and only Adam Johns.
In terms of the vibe, the talent. It reminds me of some of those better teams that I've covered.
No, I think they look real good, man. I think they still got a couple questions.
Then I think you can win 10 games. You can make the playoffs.
Mikey's also got some gambling knowledge for y'all. We're going to talk about all the topics going into the season. Are the Bears going to make the playoffs or they're not going to make the playoffs? Tune in, check it out. It's the Bears. I'm Not Gonna Hold Your Season preview special on H&B Media TV and Barbershop Network. Let's go.
Watching Aaron Rodgers and I know he was a Green Bay guy. Sorry, guys, but.
Shout out our director, Nikhil. Shout out Hallis Hall. Shout out DJ Moore. Shout out Daniel Hardy. Shout out Herb Howard, Nicholas Mariano, Adam Johns, the whole Pillars crew for helping us out with this one. That will be out on the Patreon on Wednesday, which is August 28th. And then it will be on all the free feeds on H&B Media YouTube, on the Barbershop YouTube the following Thursday. On the 5th, man. We will drop the full trailer on all social media on Friday. I mean, not Friday, but on Monday. Big name, big day. I got major merchandise news. Bang got on the hoodie right now. Bang Soft. I'm Not Gonna Hold You hoodie real quick.
That's a real company, man.
Yeah, one of many. Yeah, there we go. One of many different pieces of merchandise we got on the Barbershop Network merchandise shop, which has been 2 years in the making. Something that me and Dante and our guy JB have been working tirelessly on for 2 weeks. It's a lot of people who we're supposed to work with who went MIA on me. I'm not going to name names, even though I am petty, but we got it done. So shout out to everybody who helped us. Shout out my man Mike G. He is, helped me hand in hand with this project. We've got I'm Not Gonna Hold You hoodies as he's got on. We got different colors of the I'm Not Gonna Hold You hoodies. We got 7 at the Hallis Barber's Chair stuff. We got mugs too, nigga. As you see, mugs. We got all that stuff for y'all. So a big announcement on when it's opening on Monday. Sneak peek. The Patreon subscribers will be getting the first taste of it. I mean, the current subscribers for that. Go ahead, Dante.
No, and I would say this, because we be spending our money on this shit. It's 600 people in this room right now. We better sell at least 50 shirts, 50 something. Like, come on, bro. Like, we appreciate the views, we appreciate the spins, but we are trying to take this thing to the next level. So spend a couple dollars with the guys, man. Like, that's real quick. In and out is greatly appreciated.
All y'all talking about, it's pumpkin latte season, it's hoodie season. Well, nigga, you better buy some hoodies. Okay? You better buy some hoodies, my nigga.
Man, we're gonna put some bundles together for y'all, so when you buy something, you get something. Like, we're gonna keep it, we're gonna definitely, make it worth your while. But we appreciate the spins, we definitely appreciate the views, but spend some money with us. Come on, shop with us.
If you are a Patreon subscriber, you're getting first dibs. I mean, whoever is subscribed by the time the announcing is. So if you're not a subscriber, I would do that right now. I would either take your phone, scan this, it'll take you right to the Barbershop Network Patreon, or if you're not somewhere you can scan, the link is in the description box. The Patreon subscribers will get the first dibs on the merch. Not only will they get the first dibs, they're going to get a special discount code for holding us down. Courtney, Bang. And by the way, Bang, how comfortable is the hoodie for the people out there?
Very comfortable. I actually got a 3X, but you know what, Scott? I could have used a 2X, you know what I'm saying? So I feel real good. I feel real comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So no, great quality,
Great quality as well. So everybody get that news dropping on Monday. Courtney, anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Absolutely not. Enjoy week 0 of college football. The real football starts next week. But I'm just excited. I will be up bright and early to watch some Georgia Tech and Florida State football. I've never been more excited. Let's go sports, baby.
Hey, FanDuel.
Definitely. So that's all we got for y'all. We will be doing Friday only shows for the next 2 weeks, but then starting Monday, September 9th, we're back to our 2 episode a week schedule, Monday and Fridays. Monday will be the super show, the 3-hour show, since we're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about On the weekend, will be our regular 2.5 hours. Well, not even 2.5, maybe 2 hour 15 show, since it be shorter in the weekend, things like that. So get ready for that, man. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Barberchair Scott. You can follow the Barberchair Network at all social media platforms at Barberchair Net. As usual, you can follow H&B Media at H&B Media TV on Twitter and at H&B Media on Instagram. And of course, you can subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Barberchair Network. You can follow J.R.Bang on all social media platforms at J.R.Bang. You can follow Courtney at all social media platforms at 1-800-COLLAR-BRO. And you can follow Dante on Twitter at October's Own Tay. We'll be back next week, man. Y'all enjoy y'all week 0 weekend, and we'll holler at y'all next week. We up out of here.